changes soon. Can get a doobie on a plane, but there's Uzis in our schools. Every dude who touched a boob or a booty getting me too. What you expect from the kids who went to Hooters after school? We're all triggered and defensive. We're all racist and we're sexist. We all grew up watching South Park. How are we offended? Now being fat is beautiful. Name a thing that you can't do. Jumping jacks, run a mile, live past 42. Man, it used to be cool to just flip a bird to the system, and now it's trendy to be triggered and pretend you're a victim. It's my race, it's my weight, it's because I'm a Christian. I hate the internet and anyone who has an opinion. And everybody angry if you say white. Okay, fine. Pass me the brush and I'll paint my face to the shades right. Let's talk about abortion. Sorry, tell me how this works. Bacteria is life on Mars, but a heartbeat isn't life on Earth? Weird. Y'all so stupid. Why are y'all so stupid? Get better problems, I swear to God that y'all want them. Y'all so dumb. People so stupid. People so dumb. People so boo-hoo, wah, wah, wah. Get better issues, we're gonna run out of tissues. It's so dumb. I'm a hater cause I can't relate to gay pride. Call me homophobic because I don't want to date guys. K-tight. I for one am not surprised the world declined along the way. Give trophies to children for losing just cause they decide to play. We exercise our right to vote and hate the politicians. Ay, this is a democracy, it's partly your decision. Ay, this is weird, feels like this a different year. If I identify as a female, then when my balls and penis disappear. Children want a gender switch and hating men is feminist. Depression and anxiety are trendy, we're too sensitive. Invented 80 genders, mad the world is not accepting it. Then gave them more attention than normal women and men can get. What a contradiction, being human is so tragic. Focus on minorities, ignoring all the masses. Hallelujah, everyone. Activism saved the planet. No more plastic straws and paper, just paper straws wrapped in plastic. Congratulations. Y'all so stupid. Why are y'all so stupid? Get better problems, I swear to God that y'all want them. Y'all so dumb. People so stupid. People so dumb. People so boo-hoo, wah, wah, wah. Get better issues, we're gonna run out of tissues. It's so dumb. Look, I get it, it's like the world is going crazy. Seems like a school shooting happens almost daily. The racism, rape culture, hatred that we're facing is way too ingrained for our hashtags to change it. We've become so lazy and complacent, afraid of our generation. We think activism's Instagramming memes and complaining. It's a problem when there's actually actions you could be taking, but you're triggered, so you just cry like a baby. Y'all so stupid. Why are y'all so stupid? Get better problems, I swear to God that y'all want them. Y'all so dumb. People so stupid. People so dumb. People so boo-hoo, wah, wah, wah. Get better issues, we're gonna run out of tissues. It's so dumb.
We on? We motherfucking on. What up, it's your boy Marco from Upside Down Studios. It is What the Fuck Wednesday.
What the fuck?
How y'all doing out there, everybody who's listening and who's sure tune in later on. In the house, we got motherfucking Just Fife, the Big Feef.
What's up?
Fever.
Diffy Diffy.
We got Mama Sniz.
What's up, guys?
We got Big Sniz.
What's going on?
And we got motherfucking Greg on all the numbers. He fucking with all the
everything
numbers.
over here.
Everything.
He's just
for
back
the
here
moment.
turning his knob.
For the moment.
So what's up, everybody? Got a few topics. Well, first of all, shout out to iHeartRadio, YouTube, Spreaker, all our new listeners, followers, all our old listeners and followers, and special shout out to my haters. You know I love you, motherfuckers. We got some announcements, but we ain't gonna do them until later because I ain't got that shit pulled up just yet. Neither does anybody else. But the one I do know for sure is John Dante got some shit going on this Saturday. Go check out his Facebook page. He got tickets on sale. He got a little festival thing that they're putting on. And I know on August 25th out in Cleveland, there's going to be another comedy show. I'm not sure if I'm going to perform in that or what my whole deal is going to be with that thing. But regardless of the doubt, go support your local comedy. All your local fucking people. You know, everybody trying to make their way, whether it be comedy, music, or whatever. I know I will be performing here soon at Social 22. I'm not exactly sure what the date is.
August 26th.
Oh, so that's the day after that show. Holy shit. And then I got another show that I'm going to be performing in out in Latonia at the Tipsy Cow. I will get you a date for that shit too. Those are John Huff joints. Well, one's a John Huff. Oh, no, I got another one, too. Shit. That's out in PA. Yeah, I got to get a whole list of this shit going
You're
now.
so popular.
Actually, in Pennsylvania, I am.
Woo! He's popular in Pennsylvania.
Nobody gives two fucks about me here in Ohio, but out in PA, fucking, I got an actual following. I was very surprised.
It's a good thing we live close to PA.
Yeah, no shit. No shit. But yeah, I will get you guys posted on all there. We got, so far, Pappy Z's is still on. We will keep you posted on that. We are also doing a benefit for our good friend, Jesse Calhoun. That will be coming up in October, right?
Yeah, October 29th, Friday, October 29th at the West Side Bowl.
Fuck yeah. And that's going to be a hell of a time right there. All in the memory of a good dude, a good friend, a good husband, good father, good musician, Jesse Calhoun. Rest in peace and in good spirits, bro. See you. Might listen to you when I get to where I'm going, but at least you'll be in a better place than me. So, here. I don't know if you guys heard any of the Deep Space show, but it was pretty much. I took it to my level because I didn't really like the topic. But it was pretty much
Marco.
The topic was tribalism versus individualism, and I personally see the pros and cons on both sides of it, and that's the problem with me doing the other shows because a lot of them guys see their things their own way, and that's in itself their own form of tribalism.
Correct.
Because when you start with the individualism, individualism only works when it's with one person. That makes it individual.
If you live with another person.
Well, I'm looking at it at its simplest form. Because as it goes bigger, it turns into tribalism. So if you got one person that goes against the norm, like we'll use Big Stiz for example. He goes against the norm most of the time. He doesn't really claim a political party. He's more of an anarchist. Well,
not the Molotov cocktail kind.
No. In the sense of a political terms, whereas
no rulers, no masters.
Right. Now,
no protractors.
In certain cases and in certain circles, he would be an individual because he thinks like that. But when you go broader on there's a lot of other people who think like that. So now, if you get this collective together of anarchists, then it is no longer individualism. That now becomes a collective or a tribe.
No matter how
anarchy.
much they even because I'm a realist at heart at everything, and I just fucking a realist. Even though they try and convince you within like the anarchist movement that it is a collective of individuals, well, you're collecting together because of similar ideas
or
and,
goal,
whatever. So you're choosing to group together. You are now a group standing together. That's all there is to it. But I don't individualism. It's hard in this world. I mean, unless you live in Africa. I mean, in Alaska somewhere, in the bush. How can you really be an individualist? Because even if you have a family, there's going to be something
that sets you apart from everybody else,
but makes you a collective.
Well, see, I look at it, and again, it just goes to where you're at.
If you're talking
in
about
your situation,
if you're talking about as in social construct, and we're playing it on that level, you will know where this is from, and it sums it up perfectly. A person is smart.
I had it on my background.
People are dumb.
I had
panicky, dangerous animals, and you know it.
Right.
That's from Men in Black, and that's one of the truest fucking quotes.
My background on the show tonight.
Absolutely. Because when you think about it, like in our social climate now, when you think about it that way, with all the shit you're seeing on social media and everything, a person by themselves. There's a lot of reason there, a lot of introspective viewing, a lot of where you challenge yourself and your own ideas against what you're seeing, to when you just dive into a group, you are now just a part of the collective.
Exactly.
And you're going to go with how they go. You know, this election's a perfect example because so many people that I talked to that voted for Biden told me that they don't really think he's really that good of an option, but he's better than Orange Man. So they went with the collective against their individual beliefs.
Right, and it was all because they
And that's fucking because they're panicky fucking animals.
Right. And they were told by one, their source that they believe in told them one thing, and 3 or 4 people believed that all at once, so that group got more people to come to it. I mean, it happened just like that. Greg, did you hit that? No. And it happens just like that, and I tried to explain that to the other guys, and they just totally didn't get the point. The one person brought up COVID, and the people who are being so-called individuals for not taking the vaccine. And what I try to make them understand is...
They're still a collective group.
Right. The people who are pretty much downing and bullying the other people or just talking down on them or saying this and that about the other people who are not vaccinated, you are a tribe of you are a tribe in itself. Now, your tribalism is going against the tribe of people who are not vaccinated, and... There's where your wars come from. There's where your hate comes from. That's tribalism leads to war.
Correct. And fun fact, yesterday I just went through a long list of musical acts, concerts, tours, and everything that have been canceled because someone in the band got COVID. Every single person that is in the groups of these bands and their staff and their that have tested positive for COVID have all also been vaccinated.
Right. And now that's
just a fun fact.
The tribe of the people who are pro-vaccine are saying, well, why wouldn't you do something to try to prevent it? Or why?
I still don't understand the logic. I still don't understand the logic behind that because if you even read the stuff from the information from the vaccine manufacturers, it's just like the flu vaccine. They're not saying that you're not going to get it and that you can't transmit it if you're vaccinated. So they're literally telling you can still get COVID even though you're vaccinated.
Right.
And you can still transmit it even though you're vaccinated.
But yet they
so
a lot
literally
of these people
whether I am vaccinated or not, it only affects, according to their literature, it only affects my mortality rate if I contract COVID.
Right.
Not any kind of transmission.
And now with the new variant, it don't even matter.
You know what? Playing devil's advocate like you do all the time. If this literally could prevent it and keep people from transmitting it if they did already have it, then I could see when I go that direction. Not that I'm not advocating for it. I'm just saying I'm playing the other side. Then I could see having the ammunition to make this fucking thing mandatory. Like if you got the shot,
it did what it said,
if you got the shot and you could now no longer get it or transmit it, then I could see how you could have the ammunition to come at people to make a case for it to be mandatory.
Right, because that's what they did
But
with
since
polio
it doesn't do that, I don't even
Right.
understand how this is fucking happening.
Well, because and they use the excuse the science says and the doctors say, but they're not listening or reading all of it.
What, they get a chiropractor to sign off on it? He's a fucking doctor.
Fauci has went back 1,000 times on what he says. He doesn't answer any of the questions. I mean, I think a lot of people would make a more informed and even maybe a more pro-vaccination decision if the questions that are asked are actually answered.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. I don't think it would sway 100% of the anti-vaxxers, but I do believe there'd be a good percentage that with proper information.
Right.
And I don't mean just what's out there now. I mean, like you're saying, there's questions that you're dodging. Answer these motherfucking questions.
Exactly.
And if I jive with the information, then I'll do it. But you're not. I know you're not being straight with me, so I'm not gonna fucking trust you.
Exactly.
And I think there's a good percentage of people that are like that.
And then a lot of
you know,
these
I'm
people
a
go
man
back,
of reason, a man of common sense. If I can see something that proves to me my way of thinking is incorrect, I will change my mind and have many times. But if I know you're blowing smoke up my ass, if I know you're doing it already, do you really think I'm going to believe what you're saying on, you know, what you're handing me with your left hand if I know your right hand's behind your back hiding something?
Yeah, exactly. And nobody wants to look at it that way. No, you know, they always want to go back and they'll stop at Trump. Oh, well, we were lied about this to begin with.
I'm anti-vax, but until I know what the fuck is going on, I ain't touching it.
This goes back way before Trump. This goes back way, you know, Obama did similar shit. Clinton did similar shit. The Bushes did similar shit. Because every fucking year,
Kennedy did some. I mean,
every year there has
where we get
been
back to
some
anarchism.
kind of major plague. Every year there's been some kind of major sickness. Every fucking year.
We've had there was the avian flu, the swine flu, then
mad cow,
the flu itself and different variants that came out.
And I mean, even when the illegals were coming through, and I brought this up and I got laughed at, and that's the problem. When somebody brings up some real shit that you haven't heard of, or that might be a little bit outrageous to you, but is true, it's facts, you know, it gets blown off or you're full of shit. You know, I mentioned, remember when we talked about the plague coming across? When the first wave of all the illegals were coming in? Yeah, it got totally blown off of the news. It got the smallest headline. It got the smallest write-up. It got the smallest, you know, it wasn't even, but it was here.
Right.
And the plague is from medieval times. Nobody has done shit to even stop or deter that. You can't cure AIDS. You can't cure supposedly. You can't cure AIDS. You supposedly can't cure cancer. You supposedly can't even cure herpes.
Have you seen?
But you just cured the fucking virus of the century that's killing off everybody? No, you can't. There's nothing that's going to make me believe that. And even in its own right, they're still forcing the first vaccine on people that doesn't even stop the second fucking virus. Let alone the first virus, still people are catching shit. Because like Jared just said, if you look at what's on the box, if you read the box, the manufacturer, the people who are making this shit, not some doctor.
I will say, like I know, like on Ohio's website, okay, that they say the same thing, that it does not prevent you from getting it. It prevents. You know, it prevents it from being as severe as it could be.
It increases your chance of recovery.
And having less complications.
And then remember
it
when it
literally
started,
says that.
Remember when it started? Kids are fine.
But that's not what you see on social media.
Right. You don't
what you see
that.
is that if you don't have the vaccine, like if you have the vaccine, you're now safe from COVID.
Right. They're pushing lies. But
that's not
really
getting censored. But anti-vaxxers are getting booted.
Yes. What I don't understand
it's still
is when we started this shit, kids couldn't get it. Then it went from kids couldn't get it to kids get it, but it don't affect them the same, and they get out of it real quick. So now that people are, and I have a firm belief that it's against the schools. They're trying to keep the kids out of the schools. But now they're saying that kids have to get vaccinated, and teachers don't want to go back to school because, you know, there's a lot of states that don't make the kids take the vaccine.
I don't think it's mandatory to go back in Struthers, and Struthers is...
Well, no, Ohio's not one of them yet. It's up in New York. They're starting it, of course.
Of course.
But
very progressive states.
You know, they're
let's see what happens. Let's see what happens when the new mayor. This will be the first female mayor
of New York. Governor.
Governor of New York. And while she is a Democrat, she is a moderate from like upstate New York, not a progressive from the city.
Well, see, that's a thing that a lot of people...
some of these things, she might start righting some of these wrongs and undoing some things. We'll have to wait and see what she does.
That's what I try to get into people's head, and it's like fucking talking to a wall. You know, at the end of the day, you know, I lean more Republican these days, but I'm a truther. You know, if there's a Democrat out there that is making sense and doing good, yay for him. Fuck yeah. I mean, when they were talking about the election fraud way before Biden was elected, when they were doing local shit, I got challenged. Prove was there's election fraud. And I brought up something and they tried to blow me off. I was like, oh, you're going to blow me off? Because that was a Republican that supposedly cheated. I'm not about the Democrats cheating and not the Republicans or vice versa. I'm about none of you guys should be doing this.
Right.
Nobody should be doing it.
Right.
Don't give me this, you're leaning one way or another. No, if there was a few I can make Obama look like a god, because I've done my research. I still don't like him because of his policies. But I looked at both sides of everything. Every fucking thing. And if there is a Democrat, if there's a libertarian, if there is a transgender fucking conservative that's pro-life or pro whatever the fuck, it could be a mixture. If they are doing the right fucking thing, I mean, even if they're getting paid in the background like everybody else does, if they're doing the right thing by the people, I don't give a fuck what you are. You're all fucking politicians.
Hey, Sean, thanks for listening.
What up, Sean?
What up? But yeah, I mean, so this whole Democrat, if she does good for New York,
yeah.
If she does,
I hope so, because New York has, like a lot of very progressively run cities,
I don't understand how New York and California are the two main ones, and Washington Oregon's been Oregon, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Baltimore, Chicago.
Those ones were the three main ones, and back in the day, up until recently, it was just California and New York. Those motherfuckers were the ones that were making the rules, that were pretty much setting the standards. But that's only if you don't live there. Because if you go there, yeah, it does have its little pretty parts here and there, but them two fucking places are shitholes. They are fucking shitholes. They always like to show you the couple of nice neighborhoods, the couple of this and that. I remember the 90s. California was gangbanger land. Nobody heard about, the progressive this and that, the LGBT. No. You know what you heard about? You heard about Crips and you heard about Bloods. Yep. And you heard about Chicanos and you heard about Cholos. And you heard about illegals, but we had it pretty much not taken care of, but under a decent control back then. New York, same thing. And then even in the music, East Coast, West Coast, they were banging on wax. Well, I mean, all that shit. The Bronx, New York, all that was known for big badasses and fighters and Hell's Kitchen and the mob.
Still a little bit, they're from the Bronx, or they're from Detroit, or they're from...
Now if you go, and I know people who've lived in the Bronx recently.
Is that when you say you're from Youngstown,
if you go into fucking the Bronx now, it went from the hood tough spots to scooter riding, flowers outside their cap. It totally
they're Seattle
gentrified into.
Yeah.
But people still think that. No, that's still that hardcore
They've just
American.
been pushed to another area, though. So another area has turned into that.
Right,
and that's what gentrification does. It drives prices up so high that
the poor, the people who they don't want
the
their
neighborhood.
Yeah.
No, you're not. You're really not. You're not really bettering the neighborhood for the people that live there. You're eventually pushing them out and building the neighborhood for yourself.
When they say they're going to put in low budget housing or shit like that, the government's low budget housing or whatever. No, what you're doing is the complete opposite. Now, usually when they do the gentrification, that's more of that's
all
business
private stuff.
Yeah, that's some private shit. They want that area. They want their people to be in that area.
So they start moving in Starbucks.
And then, so the government sees like this area, we need to move some folks around, or this might be a good place.
So we'll build some HUD homes over here.
Right. So we're going to build a projects over here, which we know is going to take the property value down to this, which we might need for a freeway or something in the next 5-10 years. So, we'll put these people here, and these people are going to move.
To make up for that, they'll turn around to keep them... To make the difference, they'll turn around and give them tax breaks out the ass.
That's another thing they do. And then, if it's dependent on the corporation who's doing it, then they have the whole gentrification cycle again. So they raise everything up, then projects become condominiums, and, there you go. And it just moves it on down the line.
Right now, the big thing is on foreclosures is people are snatching up homes and turning them into apartments. They can charge. They can literally
Well, they've
right
been
now
doing
in
that
this
around
market
here
they can
forever,
charge
but
the
it's getting more
mortgage or
prevalent.
higher per apartment. So rent 1, it pays for the property. Rent 2, 3, whatever.
Right.
That's profit.
Right. And then
It's not a bad idea. And
well, what they were doing around here, especially
live in one, rent the rest.
Again, back in the mid '90s, I noticed a lot of it, and the government is in on it too, especially your local governments.
Yep.
Is they do that? They'll buy these old houses or whatever, you know, the bigger ones, and the government will come in and they'll bring their own contractors in or whatever, or sub it out to clean it up to decent, to bring it up to code. Then they will take this one family home and split it into like 3 or 4 apartments.
Like YNDC.
And they'll all be HUD houses, which the government gets a subsidy for, and it does its own little circle of everybody gets their hands, you know, greased.
Right.
While the people who are living there pretty much get a shitty home, but it's affordable to them, so they deal with it.
Well, it's also better than where they were and what they had.
Sometimes.
A lot of times.
You know,
I mean,
now it's gotten better, but I
right,
mean,
I'm talking about now.
you know, if
when
you
they
look on
pull that now.
If you look on the north side, especially where they used to have the big like mansions,
yeah.
and shit,
Yeah.
you know, they started off with making dorms out of them.
Yep.
And then when the kids pretty much fucked the houses, you know, then people came in, the local came in and they started doing the whole, you know, apartments with the HUD houses. But, you know, again, it's kind of like, in a way, in my eyes, it seems like they're doing this and they're keeping it at a certain level. So it's, yeah, we'll give it to you affordable, but we're going to make it so you can't ever leave.
Yes.
You know, so they kind of...
That's most public assistance.
Right.
We
Oh,
got you on
definitely.
it.
Because
And
in the end,
if you make when you get that one raise and make just enough to qualify to not qualify for it anymore.
You then
But what you're making now
Yeah.
is not enough to make up for
Yep.
what you were being subsidized. You have a decision to make, and when
Right.
you have kids, what decision is that?
you stay with a roof over your head.
Yep.
Right,
Or with your food stamps so your kids can eat.
right.
You know, and
That's most public assistance now.
We'll even take it.
So housing is
to-
the same as food and cash assistance and
Yeah.
heat and everything else.
Well, I'll take it to its bare minimum. You know, because I would. This tore me up to have to do this. I had to make a similar decision. You know, I refused to get any kind of welfare or anything. You know, I grew up on generations of that. You know, but my kids needed medical. And where I was working, the medical was subpar. You know, whatever. My kids qualified for government medical. I went and got it for them. Now, on paper, supposedly I was making $1, and I was even told to this because they looked a couple times. $1 more in child support than the minimum amount to get health care for my kids with me working. You know, there's a bracket and they do their little numbers thing. But now, the thing that fucked me and really, like, it just totally blew my mind. And this isn't everywhere, but our child support agency here in Youngstown is in the same building as the welfare office. And child support and welfare, I mean, they're supposed to be hand in hand. You know, they're supposed to know what each other goes on. Well, the people in welfare knew, or not the people in welfare, the people at child support knew that I was not receiving the child support, even though there was a court order saying I was supposed to get such and such amount. They're the ones who take the payments in. They're the ones who are like, you know, you're not getting it, you know. But the lack of communication between child support and the welfare office, even though I told them I'm not getting any child support, let alone what's in my order. On the order, it says you're getting $1 too much. So you have 30 days to resolve this. How do I resolve this? Well, my kids have to have their medical. So the only way I was able to get under that little thing, because I can't do anything about the child support, I'm not getting it anyways, and I can't change the court order.
You just quit your job.
I had to quit my job.
Yep.
The one fucking job that I have to admit, now it wasn't the best paying job, it wasn't the most glamorous job that I've had, but I fucking loved it. It was when I worked at the junkyard.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, I've had some pretty badass jobs. You know what I mean? Like fucking man badass jobs. I fucking love working at the fucking aluminum plant. Absolutely fucking love that job.
There's certain
it's not the most
places
glamorous
and
job I've
certain
ever
things
had. I've had jobs that, I worked in the oil field, man. You know the ego and everything that goes along with that. And dude, I fucking love that fucking job.
I've did some
I
of the
never thought I'd
shittiest
love a
jobs,
plant
and I've
job.
done some of the
I love that motherfucker.
jobs that I could probably never get again. But again, like I said, the junkyard, I love being there. You know, I'd work there 16 hours if they asked me to. You know, there was a couple times where there was just something that needed to be done. And I've worked there, you know, I put in hours when it was for free. One, you know, the person who owned it, or who ran it at the time I started there, corporate shit fucked that all up. That's another story. But I knew the guy who ran it. He was very good to us all. He was a little arrogant, but he was very good to us all. And he wasn't one of them bosses that told you what to do and stayed in his office. You know, Eddie was hands-on just as much as anybody else in that fucking yard. You know, he was pulling parts, or he was running he was doing something all the time. And he motivated you. You know, it was just a good work environment. The people there, we all had our attitudes. We all, you know, had our different years and there. But when it came down to it, you know, we all had our thing and we all did it, and it was just like that. Nobody fucked with anybody. You know, there was no real gossip going on. There was nobody you had to worry about going for your job. You know, all them little things that make you want to quit a regular job just weren't there.
Right.
You know, I mean, and it got to the point where I became so good at my job that, you know, in the time it would take somebody to pull, let's say front struts, like, because that used to be my specialty on any car. At one point in time, when I used to, when I worked at that yard, I could pull a set of front struts in less than 5-10 minutes. Like, I knew the cars by heart, which bolts and which tools I needed for which ones. You know, I knew that the Chryslers had the pinch bolts that you had to have a set of torches for. No, I knew that, you know, there's a couple other ones that have splines on the one end that you have to only fucking get, you know, you take a breaker bar to just the nut, not the nut and bolt. You know, I knew all that, and I got really good at that. And it just simple shit like that. You know, there was times where, you know, nobody else was able to go get something, and it was like, you know, a diehard needed part or something for somebody, because we used to, like, we had contracts with hospitals, and we had contracts with different other places where, you know, their mechanics needed parts right then and there. It was a time crunch thing, and I was the only one who was able to do it, or even that wanted to do it, because it was just, I loved that fucking job. You know, there was other jobs that were a lot easier, but there was no motivation, there was no sense of, you know, it wasn't there for me, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
I mean, just like this, you know, I put more heart and soul into Upside Down Studios, and none of us are getting paid. We're just doing this for our people, and because we love music, and we just love the whole shit. But, you know, there's been shit where I was able to do similar stuff and get paid for it, but it's just like, it's not the same. You know, pretty much on this show, I make the rules. There's very few rules that are set to me, and Greg puts them to me, and me and Greg are 90% of the time on the same wavelength anyways, and we discuss it, and, you know, maybe run it past Scotty and Jared, and if it seems to make sense to everybody, then it fucking makes sense, and we roll on about it. There's no... and I'm running into this situation with another little venture that, you know, I'm becoming a part of, where you ask me, I don't need to do this. You asked me to do this. This is something I'd like to do. As long as I could do it my way, which is a effective way of doing things, we'll work together fine. I'm willing to bend my ways a little bit, because everybody, you know, when you're with other people, you know, when we're on Jared's show, Metal Monday, that's his show. You know, we direct it the way he wants it. We talk about what he talks about. You know, it's mostly him. If I'm here or whoever else the guest is it, We'll give our little bit of input, but this is Jared's show. Scotty's show, same thing. Scotty gets to say what now when they come on to my shows. I mean, Jared and I kind of go back and forth a little bit. Mama Sniz does every once in a while take over the show. But for the most part, even they know this is my show, that it goes down to that.
Right.
And we respect each other for that. But when we got somebody who says, all right, well, this is your show, you got control of it, and then wants to change this or change that or no, I think, suggestion is cool. I mean, it might even be, let me think about it, or let's brainstorm on it. But when it's like, all right, this is your show, pick a topic for this week, and when I pick a topic, I don't know if we should talk about that, or I don't really want to get, we got to do a lot of research. Fucking do it. If I could fucking do it, I'm a fucking stoner with 1,000 kids and 1,000 dogs, and I ain't gonna lie, I got fucking 1,000 demons of my own. If I could get it the fuck done, you who has nothing but a so-called goody life should be able to do it. I am the bare minimum of success. The bare minimum. If I could fucking do it, and I have all the stereotypes against me, not only in the podcast shit, but just in life. I have the minority thing against me. When the blacks want to include the Hispanics, I'm a black person. When the blacks don't want to include the Hispanics, I'm just another Hispanic that not only the white people don't like, but the black folks don't like. And then if I go around the other Hispanics, then that gets segregated. The Filipinos don't like this one. The Dominicans don't like this one. The Mexicans don't like this one. And
nobody likes them Puerto Ricans.
And then as I looked into my lineage because of a different, show, I learned a lot of this shit from doing my research. I found out that a lot of Puerto Ricans, especially the Taino tribes, native Puerto Rican Indians, they were also here on mainland. So I also have the right to say something about the Native Americans, even though at the end of the day, the whole Native American shit is bullshit. We were all born here in America. I mean, I know what the fucking phrase means, but it's a shitty phrase.
That's why they're now called indigenous, the indigenous people.
No, because we're indigenous too, though.
I agree. It's all about timing.
It should just be like, if it's the Hopi Indians, the Hopi people, the Hopi tribe. That was it. That's it. If they were with the Mohicans, or if they were just that, they were the fucking Mohicans. Why do you gotta fucking break it up any more than that? If these were the conquistadors, they're the conquistadors. If these were the pilgrims, they were the fucking pilgrims. So what? We're all Americans. This breaking it up into these certain labels, pretty much.
That's cool. Then I'm like suburban white trash.
Whatever. But again, and I heard this from a black person. He was a comedian. The trash doesn't just hit the white folks. There's a lot of black trash too, but you don't hear that phrase. Just trashy people.
Right.
One man's hood is another man's trailer park.
No, for sure.
No doubt.
Just it is what it is. But I mean, as far as like I was saying, you can't just. You can never be a collective or have any kind of individualism with people following if you're just straight you're lying about it. And as far as the whole indigenous and all that shit, these labels break up people, and that's where the beginnings of racism. And that's where I believe that a lot of the individualism switches over into collectivism, which switches over into the racism shit. I gave an example of the whole critical race theory. There was one part of the book that I forget what the lady's name was, but she's the one who does the curriculum and everything in the schools about the critical race theory. She, in her own words, now this ain't a direct quote, but she said that by America becoming colorblind, which means by America accepting everybody for who they are instead of their race, by America becoming colorblind, it took the individualism away and the culture away from the black people, and that's what they don't want. They want their culture back. They want their blackness back. Well, isn't that, and people ask me why I say that, this is like spitting in the face of Martin Luther King or Rosa Parks or Harriet Tubman. These people here already had that. You're talking about all the slaves and all this and that. The slaves had that individualism. The slaves had that own tribalism. In Africa, the tribe are the ones who sold their people. The tribe. When they got here to America, the blacks had their own, they had to stay together. They had to do their own thing. When America finally said, hey, this is some bullshit, we're going to look at you by the person you are. I mean, it hasn't went 100%, but when we went to, we're looking at it, now all of a sudden, that is wrong. We're going to bring back segregation. We got 5 more minutes till break. We're going to let Jared finish this out.
What? I was only elevating my arm because of...
I thought you were raising your hand.
I don't know. I mean, it might be off topic. I don't know. But you brought up racism. And I saw something on Facebook recently that cracked me up. I honestly, okay? So apparently, Space Jam 2 has come out. Okay. All right. Now, before I get into that, original Space Jam earned $90 million at the box office.
Spoiler alert.
What?
Okay. No, we got to say spoiler alert because...
No, nothing like that. $230 million worldwide, the original Space Jam movie. Merchandising alone brought in more than $1 billion.
Hell yeah.
Space Jam remains the highest grossing basketball movie of all time. But, according to LeBron James, he is blaming the disappointing Space Jam 2 numbers on the, quote, long history of systematic racism at the box office.
Except everybody went to see Michael Jordan, and guess what? He was black.
Space Jam didn't flop.
Jordan is Motorola black.
Listen, right. Space Jam did not flop. 2 did not flop because of systematic racism.
No.
Space Jam 2 flopped because you're not motherfucking Michael Jordan.
You're not even Larry Bird.
You're not.
I think, well, first of all, from the couple of trailers and reviews that I heard about, because I won't see it, I can't stand LeBron James. But
Either.
I heard it was just, it sucked. It sucked as a fucking movie, period.
And not
it had
only
nothing
that,
to do with the people who played it or whatever.
I don't even know.
Now, the thing where I see it is there's a lot of people who think just like I do. Nobody wanted LeBron James, the political activist, whatever the fuck. You do what you do on the side. That's on you. But when you start taking that shit into all your games and you start fucking, just making a big spectacle out of yourself as a politician pretty much instead of as a basketball player, and you're just pretty much average in a world of people who could play.
Right.
Now, you put LeBron James on a team that's, a C or D level team, yeah, he looks like a god. But if you put LeBron James on a fucking full-fledged team of fucking real deal basketball, like, say you put LeBron on the Dream Team that went to the Olympics. Now, LeBron James becomes just another player. He ain't no better than nobody the fuck else.
No, you're right.
You're
right on that.
He ain't no Jordan. He ain't no Kobe. He ain't no.
But you're right. You're right. The only thing I have to say is, he is. When I get into these discussions with people, if you attack his talent,
he is talented. I give him that.
I won't do that
talented.
because the motherfucker, he is one of today's
great.
Best player.
Right. I do not deny him of that.
As far as actual just playing.
Right.
LeBron
James is one of the...
we've all seen what happens when he gets a cramp, and then listen, man,
he bitches out.
Watch a rugby match once, and then tell me what to do. Watch a National Women's Soccer League match once, and then show me who plays harder. Like through an injury, I get it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
for where
those
he's
antics,
at, I
those
give him
antics
his
are
credit.
terrible, and to me that moves him down on ranking and playership.
Right.
You know what?
There's more to it than making
But
the hoops.
you can't. His actual sheer talent, I will never knock. I will never knock because his sheer talent is absolutely at phenom status.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
But
I will,
he's terrible to watch for every other reason.
Yeah, he's fucking. Personally, you know, and this was before. This is when he was originally on fucking in Cleveland. We're gonna hit break right after this point. Or did you already cut it?
No.
All right.
We're going to break.
So back when he first started in Cleveland, I used to model out at this place called the Metropolis, and they had VIP rooms. And I guess LeBron would go there because they have different nights. You know, they have like club night and whatever the fuck. Anyways, you know, they said they get plenty of the Cavs players. They get plenty of the baseball players in there. They all treat the people good. They all respectful. They said LeBron came in there like he was King Jack shit. He treated everybody bad. They left the fucking VIP room all shitty. You know, they just fucking ransacked it partying. Didn't even leave any tips or whatever. Tried to make out on the bill. I mean, he did some hood shit. I ain't gonna say the word, but it was real hoodish. We'll say hoodish. And with that being said, we're gonna take a break and we'll come back. I'm glad you brought that up because it reminded me of some other Still on LeBron.
We back? Oh yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah, we back.
All right, we
All
back.
right, we
so
back.
we gonna continue on fuck LeBron because
Well, no,
again we already determined with the collective the collective ideal of LeBron James is we all know he has talent for his specific thing.
But like,
If he's playing.
I want to bring up a legitimate point here that I don't even see like discussed on SportsCenter or anything when he's brought up about, you know, the comparison between him and Michael Jordan. You can't even start making a comparison between him and Michael Jordan when he's not even, and I say it all the time, he's not even a Larry Bird. And Michael Jordan was a better player than Larry Bird.
It just
like,
it's just the times, you know, because back
You're
then
not
there was
allowed
a
to
lot
compare
of
him with a white man.
there's a
I'm
lot.
not comparing to a basketball player because that's what
Yeah,
we're talking
yeah,
about as
yeah.
basketball
But that's
player.
the point. You can't. But you
the
can't
ultimate
be a
still-
white one.
The ultimate's still MJ.
Well,
I mean,
well, she does bring up a good point that I think she missed. Well, we're all missing here, but the
I know
fact
what she's
the
saying.
fact
I
that
refuse
back
to-
in the day we can make a comparison with Michael Jordan and Larry
Bird.
because
100%.
he was Larry Bird was one of the greats too.
Because when you're
absolutely.
talking
But
about
to me,
But
in my
LeBron's-
ranking, it's MJ and then Larry Bird.
In LeBron's mind, though, and he has proved this time and time again on what he says, you cannot compare him to Larry Bird because that would be racist.
Right, and that's what I'm saying.
And
It's
that's-
because
that's
if
another
you
reason why I don't
if
like
you want to
him.
sit down and actually talk about like talent and you want to compare Michael Jordan and Larry Bird, anybody that would seriously actually have anything to say about that conversation are going to 100% start pulling up stats and records and
Right, but if
and
you
they're
have the
but if you have a conversation about Larry Bird and LeBron, no, it then becomes racist, and it's not a black white thing. It's the society we live in right now is fucking retarded.
And let's
I agree with that.
let's play devil's advocate. Let's go black and white thing. statistically throughout the years, even
Black
when the
people have
white
been
folks
better.
dominated it, black folks were better in basketball.
Yes.
You
You're
got
right.
you got
You're
the long
100%
end of the
right.
stick on that one too.
But even without the race card, okay, if you look at statistically at second movies that come out, sequels that come out, or you know, a movie after,
Yeah, not very many sequels top the first.
Very few ever even come close to the first. Not only that, it was so long ago. We live in a different world. We live in... People
but
don't...
so
my 12-year-old took his girlfriend to the movies. They had the option to watch Disney's Jurassic
No.
Park. What was it? No, it was Disney.
It was Disney, but it was
It was The
River
Rock.
Cruise.
River Cruise. That's what it was.
That new one
Disney's
was, yeah.
with The Rock.
Or it's Jungle
Disney's
Cruise
River
or something.
Cruise, Jungle
Jungle Cruise,
Cruise. That's
yeah.
what it is. There you go.
River
Disney's
Cruise,
Jungle
good.
Cruise. Okay, they had G.I. Joe Retaliation. They also had the Black Widow movie come out at the same fucking time, or Space Jam.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Yeah.
What
There's
do you?
no way.
What?
Even if LeBron wasn't a douchebag, you just put
Yeah, see,
Space
that's what I
Jam
wanna have to
against
say.
the Black Widow. You just put Space Jam against all these.
But
other,
what was it? Shadow? What the fuck? What's the guy's
you know,
name?
because
No,
Black
Snake Eyes.
Widow,
Snake Eyes.
Black Widow was the main one that they were thinking that was going to be the box
Here's-
office
but my
smasher,
thing
but
is-
Disney Channel fucked
and
that.
she said it.
Right.
But as far as the rest of the movies go, again, you got a kids basketball movie up against an action movie, or up against
Two
The Rock.
action movies.
Yeah, or
The Rock,
well,
which The Rock was
you
in
just-
3D.
You just see The Rock,
Yeah,
and The Rock is in there, and that's
and
it.
Jungle Cruise was in 3D.
Jungle Cruise was in 3D.
Right.
None
Now-
of the other movies were in 3D.
Now, I
mean, what?
But that's exactly what.
And then
she
again,
said before
what were the
before the
movies?
break.
There was
It's
the
not
Jungle
it's not a
Cruise.
racist thing like he's saying. When they're claiming systematic racism, they're saying that it's been around forever, that it's built into our system.
Right.
So that means for their argument to be valid, that means that the same thing would have had to happen to the first Space Jam.
Right, exactly.
So,
right.
is it a question of racism, or is it a question of people don't fucking like you anymore?
I think that's it. That's it. There's
Right.
a good portion of people just because of his bullshit.
Just like we've
Exactly.
always
They're
said
tired of
on
your
this
bullshit.
show, on all shows, you were the first one to say it, but we've all adopted it. You absolutely have the right to freedom of speech, but you are not free from the consequences of your words. And that
100%.
doesn't always mean a punch in the mouth. A lot of times that means I'm fucking tired of hearing you. I'm not coming to your shit no more.
right,
Right.
exactly,
Right.
exactly.
And no, we're not going to cry to cancel you. We're just not going to go.
And here's something else. Now, what you say with the other movies? There was the Jungle Cruise.
Which is going to have a little bit of action. It's going to have age
Wait a minute,
appropriate.
wait a minute,
There
wait
was
a minute.
Disney's The Jungle Cruise with The
Here's-
Rock.
Here's the point that I'm going to get that nobody seems to be catching on.
Snake Eyes movie.
The Snake Eyes movie.
Or
the
Black Widow.
Black Widow movie.
Okay.
Or Space Jam 2.
Now, The Rock, black. So, and I could almost guarantee he made great money. Even though
Yes.
he's mixed, he's considered black.
Right.
Snake Eyes movie is about Asians. They're considered the minority now.
Right.
So that's in that group there. And then you got, what was the other?
Black Widow.
The Black Widow, which does have a strong black character that's in it. That one was the predominantly white movie, if you want to classify it like that.
Right.
And it made the least.
Right.
It made the least, and that was, well, it was because of the whole HBO bullshit that went on. But either way, that was
Right.
supposed to be the one that was the box office smash. So you just went against two minorities and a white person.
Yep.
So that one white person beat you out. If that one white person beat you out, you just fucking suck.
Yep.
Your movie fucking sucked.
Yep.
And I love the Marvel movies, and Black Widow was okay, but it was not the greatest of movies either.
Yep. Sean's still listening at home. He said
up, Sean.
Jungle Cruise was good. I mean, dude, my kid loved it. Like,
We
but
went.
that's what he picked out of all of those movies. 12 and 13-year-olds, that's what he
Maya
picked.
watched it. I didn't watch it. I didn't even know the movie existed until Maya said she was watching it. And the only Rock movie that I'm interested in seeing when it comes out is the one where he plays Black Adam. And that's just because he's been talking mad shit about Caviezel or whatever, who probably won't even be Superman anymore. But that's it. That's the only... You
No
know, The
idea what
Rock
you were
was
just
a
talking
good
about, but
wrestler.
it sounds good.
The Rock was a decent wrestler. I liked his arrogance and the way he did things.
Acting. It's been good.
But,
the parts he's played.
See, I don't like his acting. I don't.
I think it's more geared towards a more younger crowd, which I appreciate.
It's like Cena. You know, when Cena went into acting, he took his wrestling persona in everything he does, and so does The Rock.
Yeah,
You
you're
know,
right.
And it's not, yeah, we know you're the wrestler, but you want to take your fucking, your chance at fucking acting. Well, you're not John Cena the wrestler anymore. You're
Right.
so-and-so this character.
But I like John Cena for that reason, because those are the movies that I can sit down with my boys and we can all watch them and be like, we can be entertained.
Dude,
And it's not going to be a box office hit, but it's fucking entertaining. So
Cena's
it's then
acting
fine.
is terrible.
Family
I
movie
watch
night
a Rock
extravaganza.
movie way before I watch a whole Cena movie. Like,
Bring me
in the
the
new
popcorn
one,
with Old Bay.
He played the Peacemaker in Suicide Squad, the new one.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
I can't
The best
understand
part
how
of
he would
that-
be able to do that.
The best part of that movie was when he said if there was a beach full of dicks and he had to suck them all for freedom, that he'd take every dick. That was the best part.
Damn.
Because they looked at him like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And somebody else was like, why would you fill a beach full of penises? That was his best part. That was his best fucking part. And I don't know, they're talking about putting him in one of the Fast and the Faggotists or whatever.
Yeah, he's in F9.
Listen, Fast and the Furious needed to die with Paul Walker.
No.
Yes,
Fast
it
and the
did.
Furious needed to die with number 2.
No!
I would
Yes.
give them number 3, and that's it.
Thank you. At least a few, because they were fantastic. But once Paul Walker was gone, I used to love Vin Diesel till I figured out.
No, I think
till
the
I found
one-
out
I
he
think-
shaves his armpits.
I think the one.
Then I
right,
couldn't handle
I
it
think-
anymore. I was like, no,
So
no,
does-
men
I
are
think the
supposed to
one
have
right
hair.
after. I think the
Stop
one right
it.
after
And
he
The Rock
died,
and all
where
that.
they.
Woo, no. After Paul
I
Walker,
gotta
it's
call
over.
it 3 because after 3, you could just tell they were trying to put something together to put a bunch of fucking cars in a movie and
See, I
make
felt
shit
like
go
that
fast.
with 3. The
Wait,
Tokyo Drift thing.
certain level for us,
Right.
I think they should have left it be.
I wasn't that into Tokyo Drift, but like 1 and 3.
Paul Walker wasn't in that one.
Yeah, he was.
Oh wait, it was the
No, he wasn't.
no, he wasn't in that one.
Can we talk about this for a second?
Of course
Why
we can.
do
It's
we
your show,
glorify,
and we respect you
like
for
all
that.
like, we'll use Heath Ledger.
I love Heath Ledger.
Yeah, only because he's dead.
No, I loved him before he was dead.
No, nobody gave 2 shits about
That
Heath
is not
Ledger
true.
before he died.
Bullshit.
He was in 10 Things I Hate About You, and I loved him.
There's
Chick
certain
flick, you gotta
actors-
watch it. It's beautiful.
There's certain actors I'll watch no matter what they're in because they always do such a good job.
Oh, Heath Ledger was
Heath
fantastic.
Ledger was one of them even when he was alive. John Malkovich is another one. I don't care what John Malkovich is in.
He's
Okay,
been in a
wait,
few
wait, wait.
movies that I like.
I will
but
watch whatever movie he is in,
I
whatever
have
role
to
he
admit,
does.
right now, you two are the first people that I've come across with this conversation that even knew anything that Heath Ledger did besides Batman.
Really? Oh my God. Okay, so can I tell you? I watched a video.
A Knight's Tale?
Right?
I like the Knight's
I
Tale.
watched it was an interview with Heath Ledger, and one of his fans, and I love this so much. He was having an interview, one of his fans, and she was a large woman. She was not a woman that would normally anyone would like give. Well, okay, maybe some people
You're
would
fat
give.
shaming.
Okay, I'm fat. I'm not shaming. Shut the fuck up. But I'm also a realist in this where, okay,
But for
when
now,
walking up to a celebrity,
Large women.
okay, this woman she was average. She was ordinary. She wasn't like amazing, gorgeous, whatever by society standards. She she was walking by in the background and realized that Heath Ledger was giving this interview, and she fangirled. She freaked out, started screaming, and he turned around and he kind of smiled at her. He grabbed her and planted a fat kiss right on her damn lips, and was like, "I love you for that." Mind blown. I'm like, I fucking love this man because he wasn't full of himself.
Well,
He was chill.
A lot of people are like here's you talk about going fangirl.
I've done it once.
When I did
You
it
did,
one
Ariana
time in
Grande.
my life, and it was with somebody that most people
Don't
probably
judge me.
wouldn't have done it with. Because I've met a lot of people, and I was like, they're just people
Right,
to me.
right.
But I mean, I did it one time to the lead singer of K's Choice, but this is something totally different.
Dude.
Everybody knows who Flavor Flav is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I could see maybe back in the day when Public Enemy was a big thing, but not now. You know, Flavor Flav's biggest shit is the whole, that sitcom or whatever.
That celebrity show.
Yeah. So, he was in Vegas when I was in Vegas, and he was just doing his thing, gambling in one of the casinos. And I seen him, and the girl that I was with, she didn't notice. I was like, look, there's Flavor Flav. I walked up to him. I talked to him. I shook his hand. You know, we bullshitted for a minute. I was like, can you take a picture with my girl? She was nowhere near me. You would have swore COVID was then. She was like fucking 10 foot away from me with tears in her eyes. And I tried, she could not walk up to Flavor fucking Flav, who is shorter. I mean, he is like a black Smurf. Short.
He makes Cat Williams look like Shaq.
Like, stuck. What the? Like, the only thing I could do was I wasn't able to talk to the chick. Like, I just handed her my CD so she could autograph it. But this chick was like totally I don't know how people get like that. Like, I don't. Especially now, I mean, especially we've interviewed, I mean, Jared and I fucking just walk up on whoever nowadays and interview them.
Right.
And a lot of people respect you more for that shit if you just stay real with them. But, fucking, I never got that. Like,
dude,
you see them
we were in Arizona for the Super Bowl. And we were coming out of Media Day, which is held at the same place that...
You weren't there for the Super Bowl. You were there for the...
The kids' Super Bowl. The flag football Super Bowl.
But it was...
Noodles flag football
the other
team.
game.
The Pro Bowl.
There it is. I'm like, the All-Star game. What the hell is it called?
They were held... That was the year they were held in the same city. They were both held in Arizona. They were held in the same stadium.
Oh.
But anyways, so we're doing Media Day. We're doing all the stuff the week of the Super Bowl. We had access to it all.
And these were kids?
Yeah, my daughter's flag football team from Youngstown made it to the finals.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Oh, it was very cool.
Their
it was
first
all
trip
girls
ever,
team.
they came in third, all-girls team.
Yeah, it was very cool.
The last couple years, they've won it. But, so the players stayed in the hotel that the Super Bowl players and the Pro Bowl players were staying in. The parents stayed in the media hotel. And in, like, where stars would stay while they were in for the whatever. It wasn't a big deal to, you know, as we're walking in and out of places, to be passing people. You know what I mean? Like, people. I met Warren Moon. That was cool as shit. Kept my eye out for Ray Lewis because he was covering it for the NFL Network, but I never saw him.
Oh, you just shit your pants.
Mm-hmm. I met Doug Flutie. He was walking on a treadmill one morning. I was coming back from my morning my morning dip in the hot tub and my rum and coke.
Blah blah blah. This was in February, bitches.
Yeah.
Here's one for you. You ever come across somebody that
Wait a
is
second.
famous?
Let me get to the fangirl.
Oh,
We're
okay.
walking out of Media Day, and all of a sudden, my daughter goes, "Dad, it's Ariana Grande!" I can't even make the sound I made. I fucking high-pitched...
Over Ariana Grande?
Dude. And as I turn around...
For that one.
Don't even. And as I turn around... Okay, Taylor Swift.
Even Taylor Swift, I might have, like, spit game to her or got
No,
flirty.
bullshit.
The only person that I
And
would have
anyways,
thought that you went fangirl
I
was
did the full
Britney
fangirl.
Spears.
And then I turn around and see where she's pointing. And Ariana Grande's not even there.
It's
a
fucking
big-ass
poster.
banner poster for the upcoming concert.
Fucking love it.
She
That is
tricked
fucking
me.
Great.
Yeah, that is.
Fantastic.
That's for ammo later.
Fantastic.
Oh, Ariana. I gave you your Britney Spears, but oh my god. Oh my god. Here's one even better.
One More Night? Oh my god, that song's fucking amazing.
I did this to a few people,
You lost me on that one. Man.
and it happens sometimes, you know. But you ever come across somebody who I guess is famous and you didn't know it, and you were just like, kind of like blew them
Yeah.
off because they were addicted?
No, I didn't blow them up. I was just sitting there bullshitting with him, having a conversation about dumb shit. It was actually at one of the Olympic trials. We were watching swimmers swim, and I was sitting there next to an Olympic medalist that I should have known because I was big into the sport. Rowdy Gaines. I literally sat there for an hour and we were talking about different people and talking about, swimming and stuff. And no fucking clue it was him. Who else did I do that with?
I won backstage tickets one time to see who is the band who sang that song "Paralyzed."
Finger 11.
Nah.
Oh no, that's Paralyzer.
Yeah, well, Paralyzer is
That's
the song.
Finger 11.
Is that Finger 11? All right. Well,
You doubt?
I won. This was before they came out with that song. They had one hit song that was on the radio, and I used to be real good at winning the contests on the radios from the radio stations. So I won a set of tickets to see them and a few other bands, but we had backstage passes. I heard one of this band's songs. It was kind of a sappy song that reminded me of a chick that I broke up with, so that was the only reason why I even listened to the shit. But we get taken by the people, like, it was real weird. Like, when we first got there with our tickets, we showed our tickets, and they took us, like, VIPs up to an upstairs place. And after about 20 minutes, the band came out. Well, I didn't know it was the band. I thought it was other fucking people who were there to see whatever the fuck we were supposed to see. And then finally they were coming around and they were like, "Hi, how you doing?" This and that, All these people are talking. I'm like, who the fuck are these guys? And the one dude came up to me. He's like, "Hey, how you doing?" I was like, do I know you? Do we do? It's like, yeah, we're from the band. Oh, good song. Nice song. I had no fucking clue. No clue. And then there was another time, I guess, that one TV show where you lose weight or whatever. It's like a reality show where you start real fat and you lose a bunch of weight, and whoever loses the most or whatever.
Biggest Loser.
Yeah. Well, the winner from that was something that I took the kids to. And he was going around with like a dude dressed in a bunny outfit, different characters people dressed up as. And he was walking with them, and he comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, how you doing?" This and that, like waiting for me to go fangirl, I guess, on him. I'm like, "Hey, how you doing? Do you know who I am?" "No, not really."
No.
"Oh, well, I'm the winner of The Biggest Loser." What's that?"
Yeah, you can't do that on a reality show. That's like, I was in Big Brother 3. What the fuck? When was that? Like, are we on Big Brother, like, 72?
Yeah, I was.
What do you mean you were on Biggest Loser?
I was on Bridezilla, so what?
But did you win Top Shot? That's what I want to know.
The guy from Poland that was on Top Shot came into Fred Martin Ford. Well, the Mercedes side to look at Mercedes.
Now, somebody I can't say that I won't, but I might go fangirl on if I ever met, might be Gordon Ramsay.
Wow.
Yeah. Because to me, like, in my eyes, he's the only celebrity that's really out there anymore that's worth a fuck.
Gordon Ramsay is pretty amazing. I still think I'd be like, fuck you, dude, you're a dick.
I'd love to go kick it
Fuck
with
you, you're
Gordon
a
Ramsay.
dick.
I
mean,
to.
you can still autograph my shit, but fuck you, dude.
I have to admit, though, he's ruined a lot of my meals now. Because I'll pick apart a meal like crazy now. I'll be look at this lettuce.
Like he's a chef.
Look at this lettuce over here. It's
There's
wilted.
not even paprika in this.
Yeah. Look at this presentation. Or if I see like
Your drizzle is messy.
And because it's one of Gordon's pet peeves, it's become one of mine. And that's the
Oh
only thing that I
my
can say
God.
because it wasn't a pet peeve of mine before this.
Who was the cooking dude that I liked?
But
Bobby Flake.
Bobby Flay.
Bobby Flay's good too.
Yeah.
But he's not a dick like Gordon.
No. I could see your
Yeah.
fascination.
But like
watch
if there's stuff around the rim of your bowl or plate when they bring it out to you,
Yeah.
oh, that drives me fucking nuts. That drives me nuts now, and it has to be because I've watched so many Gordon shows, and he's like, "No, this is a dirty plate. This, you're not supposed to set up." Like, for years, I've eaten with shit scattered all over, fucking a thumb on the edge of the plate, shit like that from different waitresses. Now, if I see some shit on the edge of my plate, I'm the biggest bitch.
Oh
in the
my
fucking
God!
world.
You need to
my
give
God.
that lady at Perkins a damn break. What the hell? It's Perkins, man.
Oh no, I won't even eat at Perkins anymore. I might as well just order Mud Butt to go.
Mud butt to go.
Yeah, that's how I judge my restaurants now, is how long it takes me to get mud butt.
Wow. That's kind of gross.
It's really gross. Especially if it comes after your first plate at a buffet.
I honestly, 100%, because of like the whole gallbladder thing, I almost always have mud butt anytime I eat out. So if I go to a restaurant and don't have it for at least 20 minutes after eating, damn, that place is good. Good place right there.
I agree.
5 stars.
I agree. I've been to a couple places where I'm like, I know I'm going to have the shits when I leave here.
Yep.
Or heartburn.
Before I get to the parking lot.
Yeah,
not even before when I leave here.
If I don't get heartburn or mud butt, then I will be back.
No, I take a heartburn medicine every day because I have like 17 ulcers or some shit.
I just have a vat of acid that floats around. It's terrible. Terrible.
Getting old sucks.
See, I've always had the issue. Like, I had acid reflux before they knew what the fuck it was. So they thought I had AIDS.
Damn.
Yeah. That's how long I've had it. You ever been sitting in a hospital bed with your 1-year-old daughter, your girlfriend?
I'm just burping up stomach acid. Oh, you have AIDS. Okay, now.
Dude,
wait a minute.
That was one of the worst weeks of my life.
I would imagine it would be.
Because I was still a senior in high school.
Damn.
And like that was
back before color TV and stuff.
That must have been something around the Youngstown area because around the same time I was battling with it too. And when I went to the hospital, they pretty much quickly diagnosed it as GERDs.
Well, they thought that at first.
AIDS. AIDS never came up. It wasn't even a question.
All these letters, they're so confusing.
Well, this is how it started. Like every morning, like I started getting up in the morning and I get ready for school. Yeah. I was puking. Well, I wasn't puking. Passed it out. I was puking blood and acid, and it was fucking up the back of my throat. And then after that, I'd be in so much pain from cramps because the puking, like it only went so far, and then you had dry heaves.
The reason you were bleeding is the same reason I was, and you have the dry heaves is because of dry heaving. What you do is you tear.
Yeah, you start tearing.
It's called a Mallory Weiss tear.
Yeah. So then, after it happened so long, like I started going to my doctor because I needed doctor's excuses for school.
Man, AIDS.
And my doctor started running all the tests.
Damn.
And, he couldn't find anything wrong with me. There was no ulcers. I even had the camera in the ass.
So he didn't even think maybe a cancer. He thought AIDS.
Well, no, it led up to that. Like, I had the camera in the ass. I had the camera down the throat.
Luckily, mine only went down the throat, and they found out exactly what it was.
Yeah, mine was throat, not ass.
Yeah, I had them both.
Marco was like, do both at the same time. I want to feel like Sasha Grey.
I wouldn't wish that on anybody. I had the one where they fill your fucking your
Marco's camera had nails
up with the balloon and then press on you and then they won't let your shit out, whatever the fuck nasty shit they drink. Yeah, I had a bunch of different tests.
Marco's I had to drink that chalky shit and then get pictures of my
that's lightweight bullshit.
Marco's camera had long ass nails.
Asshole.
And that's exactly where them long ass nails went.
But anyways, like. The very last time it happened really bad, my mom rushed me to the hospital.
Yeah.
And I'm in the hospital. And they took all kind of tests, and they came out and said, Mr. Torres, now mind you, my mom, my less than 1 year old daughter, and my old lady at the time were standing around me. This doctor comes in and says, Mr. Torres, we can't find anything wrong with you, so we're going to have to give you an AIDS test. And that's when the results, it was like damn near 2 weeks to get back.
Oh my God. You were
Talk about the worst 2 weeks of my fucking life. Like that day I left the hospital bawling like a little bitch. I bought a bottle of 151 and an ounce of weed. And I had my own place on the south side. And I went to that house and I locked myself in the basement. I called my 3 best friends. And we sat and I cried like a little bitch, just losing it like Chunk on Goonies. You know, when he was like just spilling everything, like just losing it, dude. And I'm telling everybody, make sure Maria's taken care of and you can have this car and you can have, I got shit stashed here and this and that. Oh my God. And then they found out finally my doctor came out a week after the test came back negative. He said, there's something out called acid reflux, spontaneous esophageal reflux disease.
Yeah.
Yeah, acid reflux.
SIRS.
And we went from there.
So, Sean, who's listening at home, said he had both at the same time. I'm going to assume he doesn't mean GERDs and AIDS. I'm going to assume he meant colonoscopy and a...
It's an upper and lower endoscopy.
Endoscopy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, because if you had, AIDS and GERDs, then that would be bad, because you'd probably still have both
He'd
of
have
them.
grades!
He'd have grades!
It's great!
Grade A.
Then again, and a lot of people out there don't know Sean, so feel lucky. We love him, but yeah. Feel
I
lucky.
love him, and I was just fucking with him.
And I think I would rather have
think he knows
AIDS
that.
than have to put a camera up Sean's ass.
Are you fucking serious? I don't want AIDS. I'll shove that camera so far up Sean's ass it comes out his nose hole. I don't give a shit. It's Sean's ass, not my ass.
With nails. With long nails.
With
But
long
it's-
nails
But
painted
it's
like ladybugs.
AIDS. So yeah, I'm with Joyce on that one.
But yeah.
I'll shove an old fucking...
I had, when I was having gallbladder issues.
I'll shove an old 1982 fucking...
He said yes. But,
I'll shove an old 1982 news crew camera up his ass before
Well,
I
you do know
fucking
the
have
cure
AIDS.
for AIDS, right?
Not what?
Benjamin Franklin. A bunch of Benjamin Franklins.
Okay.
Magic Johnson fucking told the world when he cured
Charlie
it.
Sheen.
And Charlie Sheen proved the point.
Well,
You have enough Benjamin Franklins, you
when
get your
You know
I
what,
was
though?
having...
On our, at least like with our TV, have you seen a lot of the commercials now for all of these AIDS
the new
supplement?
preventative stuff, yeah.
And I have an uncle who contracted HIV back in the 80s. With
Oh,
this
so he had the real deal one.
when survival rate wasn't very good.
Yeah, he had the alpha variant of the AIDS.
But treatment and everything, he's still alive, and is the last I heard, not having really. He doesn't have any complications. With all the medications and the treatment and everything out there now, he lives as much a normal life as anybody else, on the surface, anyways.
Well, see, here's
But yeah, so we can halt it, but we can't cure it. But
well, that's what I was gonna get on. See, this is something that I found out about. I forget what virus I was looking up. It was a different show, different research. But apparently,
Texting Kim.
all viruses, even though all of them are different, but they're kind of like people. We got our black people, we got our white people, we got our tan people, we got all different colors. So that's what makes individuals, but we're all humans. And what viruses supposedly do, and that's why we can we can never get rid of a virus. That's why they call it computer viruses, because somehow, some way, they always stay in your computer.
somehow somebody slipped a Trojan in your back door.
Well, no, they didn't. They should have.
Long ass
Trojan.
nails.
But anyways, viruses, I guess,
They backdoored you without a Trojan.
where they set up, I guess, if you want to call it at its simplest form, like a headquarters in your body,
Yes.
is in your spine. It sits in your spinal fluid and spinal tissue.
Okay.
All viruses, whether it be the COVID, whether it be AIDS, whether it be herpes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how to get. They're all the same in that aspect.
This
So
is
if you
why I'm
cure
listening
one,
to you,
can
but I'm
cure
going to
for-
check on it face.
Yeah, yes, please.
Okay.
You can cure one or prevent one, but you can't cure or stop the other. You already have the blueprint for that. The bacterias, the different shit like that, the funguses, all that shit. Those are all varied. You have to find a specific thing to match each and every one of those. But a virus is a virus is a virus. Now, I was told this, also by a doctor. A virus is a virus. And we
Was
can't
it a
kill the
chiropractor,
virus.
though?
No,
It wasn't Dr.
not a
Fauci, was it?
chiropractor.
I'm just making sure you got to cover your
No,
bases.
real deal doctor.
Oh, okay, a real one.
And
okay.
I think I started looking into it over Rye syndrome.
Like not a doctor of physics.
Because, you catch, if you have the chicken pox or whatever, and you give certain kids aspirin or something, it could turn into Rye syndrome.
High enough fever.
Yeah. So, I think I was looking into it because one of my kids had chicken pox or some shit like that. But that's where I remembered the whole thing about viruses. So, if it's sitting in a virus, there's got to be a way. There's got to be something. And I believe at the end of the day, the virus is the big pharmaceutical moneymaker.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with you. Anytime you go to the doctor and they can't pinpoint 100% what is wrong, what do they say?
It's a virus.
Oh,
Virus.
you have a virus.
Right.
Always. Absolutely always.
And now they'll give you antibiotics for shit.
For
but
bacterial infections,
right, but,
not viruses.
Well, I guess the theory is the virus leads to other shit, and it breaks down your immune system, so you're susceptible to the other
My
stuff.
kid's doctor would not give you an antibiotic for a virus.
I've never been given an antibiotic
if
when I
you
was
held her at
diagnosed
gunpoint.
with
She
a
would
viral
not do it ever.
infection.
Well, see, I know a lot of a lot of people, and especially because I guess it's the best working one or whatever, but it's now the generic, they give to everybody now, is azithromycin.
Yeah.
Because everybody, I'm a firm believer that COVID was around before it became real well known.
It absolutely was.
And that's, the doctor, you got an upper respiratory infection. Here you go, azithromycin. A Z-Pack.
Z-Pack, yeah.
Right. So, I mean, it'll stop it from getting its guns, but it's not going to stop the main one from fucking you up. And I'm a firm believer that they can fix that. And if they find a cure for just one virus, then that variants of that will be cures for all the viruses. If we're being told the truth and science tells, is saying that this is all, they may be different color people, but they're all people. So a bullet will kill that person. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just because it's a different color don't mean that bullet ain't going to kill you. So just because it's a different virus, it's still a virus. Whatever should, at least slow you the fuck down.
I mean, there's some merit in that, but, there's different bacteria, and not all antibiotics works on
Well, we're not
every
talking about the
bacteria.
bacteria, though.
But in that kind of thinking
That's a whole
and theory,
different monster.
But you're still talking about something that's attacking your cells and attacking your body.
Right, but bacteria, they have individualized. There is, you can take penicillin for one
individualized
bacteria, but
viruses
you
as
need
well.
amoxicillin to take another one, or you need Cipro for another one.
Right.
Because they're each one, and some bacteria are kind of fungal.
And they've
also
done that with viruses.
Well, but with the viruses, it's a different monster, being that it's a totally different, literally a different monster.
It is.
So instead of finding what attacks it, like they did with the bacteria and they did with the funguses, instead they got suppression drugs.
Right, steroids and shit.
Just like Jared said, now there are so many different drugs for AIDS now that people could live a normal life, whatever the fuck that is, as opposed to when we were growing up. If you had AIDS,
it was death sentence.
I mean,
Death
it was a
sentence.
death sentence.
I mean, HIV was one thing,
You were
but when
like
it turned to full-blown
fucking-
AIDS.
Yeah.
And that's
You're a
what,
leper.
that was
that's
it.
what
You were a leper,
my uncles
period.
had turned to full-blown AIDS sometime in the 90s when it
And
was
again,
still like
where
they thought
was
he
the
was that was it.
quarantine?
He only had a
Where
certain
was
amount of
this
time.
Mass, we need a vaccine like right now. Where is this? AIDS is still being bred in Africa and in Haiti and shit like that. But I mean, what the fuck?
Right.
That we have so many higher on the shelf
Big time in
fucking
Haiti.
things that if you would find the cure for that, then you would probably have the cure for these other things that are lightweight. If you find a cure for AIDS, I'm sure if you took it from a 10 down to an 8, you would cure most other viral diseases. AIDS is a pretty strong thing. You don't need full power, but you can take it down a little bit.
And, and one of the problems with bacterial infections is for so long, doctors became so quick to administer an antibiotic that we now have bacteria out
That are
there
immune
that
to
are
it.
immune to
Yep.
these antibiotics. And we haven't come out with, new ones. We're still, Z-Pack, I think, is one of the newest ones that we've had.
Azithromycin.
And it's been around forever.
And it's been around for quite a long time. But we haven't had anything, new that can really fight these antibiotic resistant bacteria. Like, look at our kid. She's been hospitalized twice, almost died once from a bacterial infection. One had to go straight to infectious disease and CDC to even figure out what it was. And then she was on an antibiotic for an entire year straight. Do you know what that does to the immune system? To your
Especially
body,
for a
to your
female,
kidneys.
antibiotics are bad
to
on the female.
so bad for a year straight. Right? Now she comes off the antibiotic, she has another flare-up. For the infectious disease doctor to say, oh, this is just going to be a bacteria that lies dormant in your system, that could flare up at any time. Because you know what? That's code for we don't fucking know why it's doing that. We don't know, and that's a bacterial infection.
And a lot of times, some of the simplest shit is what is the cure and what's the answer.
Yep.
Here,
Good old penicillin.
here's a good example. A friend of mine's, they have herpes. Now, they got all kind of medicines and shit like that to suppress it or whatever. I did a little research on it, and what I found out is all the drugs being given totally fucks your whole body up.
For sure.
And it doesn't cure the disease or whatever. It just kind of suppresses it down, and that's after you have a flare-up. Whereas there's more natural vitamin type shits that will damn near stop it totally, but nobody will ever say that to you. Nobody
not
ever,
at all.
not even the doctors, because I suggested something called lysine, which you could. I learned about lysine because it's a molecule that's in acid,
It's
like
actually an
acid,
enzyme.
acid. Yeah. But you take that and you purify it and you can make acid with it.
Yeah.
But anyways, it attacks the whatever the virus feeds on in your system. So if the virus doesn't have anything to feed on, then the virus stays dormant.
Absolutely.
So now if you keep on it and you keep on a steady regimen of it, then it stays dormant and it pretty much never shows back up again.
Right.
Whereas if you take these prescription pharmaceutical shits, yeah, you might not have a flare up for a month or two, but then it comes back and it hits hard.
There is really something to be said about holistic medicine.
Right.
And you know, the people that did it, the way they did it back in the old days, you know, in quotation marks, my uncle suffers from severe gout. And my mom, you know, she goes to a holistic chiropractor. And he does all kinds of mineral testing and all that kind of stuff. He told her a pH balanced water, 1, and 2, cherry juice.
Yeah.
Tart cherry juice.
Tart.
There's
100%
something
cherry
else
juice.
too, because
It's gotta be
I remember
full tart cherry juice.
You're
not-
absolutely
not a
you're
blend.
absolutely right.
Right.
There's another. I think it might be a fruit or a vegetable
It also
that
helps.
does
It helps greatly with that tart cherry juice. Helps also greatly with
And
all
I-
kinds of inflammation, like
You know
arthritis.
Tommy from the flea market.
Who?
Tommy.
Yes.
With all the piercing stuff.
Yeah.
He has gout, and I try to tell him about whatever. And, oh no, the doctors are giving me this. The doctors are giving me, dude. No,
Yep.
I'm telling you, try this.
Yep.
You know, try. There's something to be said for certain things, especially if they've been around for a while.
Correct.
You know, like I found out the best way to get rid of a urinary tract infection, especially for a guy, honey and lemon juice.
Yep.
You take honey and you get lemon juice. You fill up a glass and you fill half of it with honey. Mix it up. It tastes
My
like
doctor told me-
lemonade, and within a day.
Yep. My doctor
You're
told
good.
me with a UTI, you can actually drink enough water to flush it out of your system.
Sometimes, but then you got water. Too much water has its bad effects.
Well,
on you
yeah,
too.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
but
can't
you don't
waterboard
drink that
yourself.
But yeah,
I mean, yeah.
Well, you get these people who just say, "I can keep drinking water and it'll be gone," and then they
No.
want to drown themselves.
I guarantee you, people don't
You
fucking
can
drink enough water
you
in
can-
and of itself.
You
period.
can't drink too much water.
Yes,
your
you
cells
can.
will
Yeah.
burst and you will die.
Yes,
Yeah.
because you deplete the sodium in your body and the electrolytes in your body.
It breaks down the elasticity
All right.
of the cells.
But anyway, there is a lot to be said of that. And the pH water and the cherry juice and my uncle's gout, knees, feet, everything, like it clears it up, if not prevents it
And
from
then there's
actually
a lot
flaring
of
up.
foods that actually like, who was it? I think it was my mom or my grandfather who got gout, and what it was from, it was eating liver. Now, eating liver helps with a lot of different blood shits, and it has a lot of benefits. But when you eat it like it's a fucking, a sandwich every goddamn day,
A
then,
sandwich.
hey, you got the
One
gout.
minute.
With that, we're taking break.
Taking break.
Taking a break. We'll be back. Liver
Taking a
sandwich.
break.
Liver sandwich.
You ever eat a liver sandwich? We
Marco,
back
we motherfucking on Marco.
Alrighty.
I mean, we're not on Marco.
No.
That'd be grody.
No.
You're on, Marco.
I am not. I am
You're on
across the
Marco.
table.
See, even
Ain't
Joyce said
nobody
so.
on me right now.
You're on Marco.
You're on Marco.
Oh, Jesus Christ. We're on the
No,
air.
Jared, but I understand why you have the little confusion there.
Yeah, the long beard and the Arab-looking thing kind of
Plus
did
the
it.
miracles I tend to work.
And the pretty ponytail.
Don't
Woo!
forget and the flip flops.
Hey.
And the gout.
I have no gout.
Or
Lots of arthritis.
Sean said that cherry juice can help with a flare-up but can't prevent it. And you are right, and I did misspeak there, and I appreciate you pointing that out.
yeah, you know what you do to prevent it? You try taking care of yourself and you eat better.
I don't, well, I
Because
don't,
the main cure for gout is changing your diet.
I can agree with you because I think fried foods is a flare-up or something like, I don't even know, but,
Yeah, you just told me I'm going to die.
I did. Damn.
If I gotta stop eating fried foods,
I can't.
I'm a spick. I grew up on fried foods.
Well, I mean, I think we
It was
all grew up
fried
on fried
lard in a
food.
cast iron pan.
Listen,
Yes.
I made fried potatoes
Lard.
the other day. I made fried potatoes for dinner.
They were banging.
And they were so good. But you know why they were good? He was sitting in the living room away from the kitchen. It was like, I could tell you're making fried potatoes because you
And not
didn't use
me.
the air fryer. And not him because I could smell the butter.
You
I
ever
could
have-
smell the
so
butter from the
good.
living room.
You ever have a
They were
grilled
delicious.
cheese?
But I usually make everything. Like I make everything I can in that fucking air
Hold
fryer.
on, he's talking about cheese.
You ever make a grilled cheese sandwich on a skillet in lard?
Yes? Oh.
That's how I grew up. You buttered both sides of the bread, but there was always a
still know
lump
the
of
lard
lard
is
inside
in.
the
Lard.
pan.
My grandma called
That
it
or
fatback.
bacon grease. Bacon
Well,
grease.
it's
my,
different.
My
Fatback
grandma
is
would save
different
the
than
bacon
lard.
grease. Oh my god.
Sean said he's on a gout diet and diabetic diet, lost 45 pounds so far.
Good job, Sean.
Fuck yeah. Woo! Woo!
Yeah, that don't count though because his ex just got married. That's how he lost that fucking
It is,
weight.
look, that's there might be
He
some
lost
merit to
that
that.
He lost
unwanted weight.
Only
45
because,
pounds.
listen, my cousin, I saw my cousin was a big girl, and I saw her one day, and I'm like, Tina, what diet were you on? Because I need to go on this diet. She's like,
Man.
I got divorced. I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna be fat. Like, damn, I can't go on that
Oh, yeah, I
diet.
forgot about that.
Remember that?
He just
oh
wow.
shit,
That was
see,
one of
I
that was one of
gained
those
weight.
situations. Everything was perfect. It was a great thing. and
well, that's a
he
comfort
just
food
come
thing.
home one day and said, "I don't want to be married anymore," and walked out the door.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah.
Some people stress eat. Some people stress not eat. I mean, it all depends on
I
what
didn't
you
think
do.
I stress ate. I think my body just said, well, we're not going to burn this anymore. We're just going to store this for later. Or it could be, one of the voices said, well, if we stay fat, then nobody will want to be with you and you can work out whatever you can do.
Basically, what happened was you just
But-
kept eating like you normally ate, and you weren't fucking no more. So you were just fat now.
Yeah, that can have something to do with it, too. That can have a big deal to do with it.
There you go.
When you're used to
And for
doing
$9.99, I'll
a
write
bunch-
it all down for you. You just send it to
when
Upside Down
you're used to doing
Studios.
crunches for a good, at least minimum hour straight, and with heavy weight on you, and then you go to not doing shit, maybe lifting your hand a few times, your forearms get a little
To your
bit
mouth
stronger.
with food in it.
No. If you listen
Marco's
to
not
what you
into
just
food
said,
play.
and what I just
Watermelon
said,
for you, watermelon for me. Watermelon for you, watermelon for me.
There's no calories in watermelon.
Well, I know it was a bad example, but that was the only thing I
That
could
was
think
racist.
of. We're putting a hole in it.
That was
Cherry pie.
racist.
It wasn't racist.
It
I
was
fucking
apple
love
pie. It was
watermelon.
apple pie. Warm apple
Damn.
pie. Marco took up bacon as soon as he got single.
No, I was
he's
baking
like, I
way
really,
before
he's
that.
like, he goes, really, I love Marie Callender.
What?
That's a brand that makes apple pies,
Oh,
frozen
I-
apple pies. Don't you remember
Marie Callender?
American Pie, the movie?
We made our. I remember dude fucking the pie. I didn't know the fucking
that's
brand
you.
of pie.
That's not the. No, I'm saying you love Marie Callender. You're in love with.
They
Marie
make chicken
Callender
pot
now.
pies. Now you know. You're welcome.
I get my chicken pot pies from KFC.
Oh, they're
They
so
are
good.
awesome.
Yeah, I don't like too much from KFC, but I will fuck up a chicken pot pie like you wouldn't believe.
Man, those chicken bowls where they got the mashed potatoes and the gravy and the corn and the chicken. Oh.
You ever hear, who is it, Patton Oswalt talk about that?
No.
About their KFC bowls?
No. I make them at home, though, and that's... Whoa.
Let's make a failure bowl. just take like we have good gravy and we have good mashed potatoes and the chicken's good and it's all right. Now grab me all that, put it in one lump, and serve it to me in a plastic bowl.
I don't see
we
what
can
the
serve it
problem
to
is
you
with that.
You know, like a civilized person, I'll say, no,
No.
I want a failure pile. In I think he called it a depression bowl or something.
That
shit
is
like
my
that.
kind of meal, the depression bowl. Give it to me. Yum.
I'm not knocking it. You don't know how many of them other when they had the biscuit in the middle.
Make me a break.
Oh my
I'll be
God.
good.
Oh, hell yeah.
Did you
Hell
say
yeah.
a break?
I
Yep.
just said a break. Oh, so good. Especially now they got them Velveeta cheese packets to add into it.
Well, if you think about it, KFC is just them bowls are a break, not
Or
in jail.
They're a
break.
KFC break.
Not in
They're
jail.
just missing the ramen.
That's where you get your mashed potatoes.
Right? Oof. So good.
That reminds me of
Okay.
what was that Facebook post? If he puts
We were
more,
making breaks
if he puts,
before there was a name for them.
exactly.
They weren't even called anything.
Yeah.
They were just called, let's go make some
Yeah,
noodles,
it's some
noodles.
food. That was it.
Some oodles and noodles, and then you just look around and see whatever the fuck was around and throw it in the fucking pot
Yep.
with it. That's before you had a microwave to microwave the shit in.
I'm going to do that shit tonight. I don't know what you're talking about. As soon as I get home.
You don't know a break until you made one on a fucking one-person coffee machine.
Oh, shit. No, I've done that.
The one pots, the one little cup.
With
Reuse the Jiffy
little teeny electric skillet thing right here. That's the stove.
No, like-
that little thing.
I lived for a month on reheated White Castle burgers that I heated up on a coffee maker. That was my skillet right there.
I've done that, and then I was so happy to get my hot plate.
We just used the fucking coffee pot. Everybody was cheap. It worked.
Yeah, but
so
it started
fuck.
taking too much time because I drank coffee too.
Oh, see, the coffee goes in the morning. We make sure you make the coffee, and
Yeah, but when you got to make your breakfast where you got to make your coffee, it gets difficult. So I was
Coffee's
really happy to
always
get that
first.
one fucking burner.
Coffee has to be first.
coffee always first, and then
And then
you-
it's
Yeah, but
preheated. Then it's preheated for the other shit.
Yeah, but I'm always pressed for time in the morning.
Oh.
I don't manage time well.
that's it. There we go. That
I ain't gonna lie.
Then George Foreman came out with the Holy Grail. Woo!
Oh, the Foreman grill's the
Pizza
shit.
on both sides. Go on, George. God, me.
Foreman grill is good for quick, like for kids, quick meal.
Okay.
But it takes every fucking bit
Did
of
you hear me
flavor out of
talking?
everything cooked on it.
Oh,
So I mean, if
no.
you gotta season your shit more than you gotta.
No, but if you...
You throw waffles in there. You throw
Right, I'm
grilled
talking-
cheese in there.
I've cooked some shit on a Foreman grill.
Right? I'll put some soup in there.
Shit, I've cooked eggs on a Foreman grill. But you gotta tilt it back up to cook the eggs at
Right.
first.
You gotta get that spatula and be like, ooh, 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 so they don't get the ends, and you're like trying to make it congeal fast enough.
You can make a whole omelet. You just spread the egg across and you keep it up there. As long as you keep it up there till it gets a little bit, like formed, it gets a little solid, then you can flip it and do whatever the fuck
That's
you
why
want.
the women are chasing you. Damn.
No, there's nobody chasing me. There's nobody even kind of
The hounds
like,
of hell.
jogging next to me or there might be somebody who looked at a picture and be like, oh, he might be
That's
cute.
because you like big girls. They started out jogging, and
you
they were
on
like,
Tinder?
hold on, give me a
Yeah.
minute.
Are you on Tinder?
I'll
I've been on
catch up.
Tinder ever since Backpage and Craigslist went out. And you know what? You see a lot of silly pictures, but the ads aren't as good on Tinder. I got it just for like fodder.
Are you currently now on a dating site trying to find anyone?
I'm not trying to find anyone, but I'm on Tinder. I sit on the toilet and look at it all the time. I even, like, on long trips, I show Greg. I was like, if somebody wants to find somebody, why would you put this picture up? You know,
It's like the guy that takes a picture with his cat. What the fuck
even the
are you
pictures
doing
that I
taking
have
a
with
picture
my
with your
dogs,
cat?
they look good. You know, I ain't over here like...
It's different. I don't know why it's different, but it's different. A man takes a picture with his dog, and then that same man takes the same picture, but with a cat, it's different. I can't tell you why, but in a female's mind, they automatically go, pussy.
Yes, that cat's a
Pussy.
motherfucking tiger.
No.
Or maybe
No,
like a
because
cheetah.
I've taken pictures
walking
of
your
some of my
puma
dogs,
down the road.
and I've taken pictures with my cats, and the ones with my cats, I by far look a lot less gay.
I call bullshit.
I got a picture right now on my phone
seen his dogs,
with
though.
me and a pink. I got a pink
like taking a
fucking
picture
white
with our
beater
dogs.
on, and I got a pug behind me. And now the picture with me holding my black cat looks 1,000 times not gay than
See,
the one
you
with the
can
pug.
Did you
and
not
the
have a
shirt.
pink wife beater on?
Who knows what I had on? I know
I
I
don't
had a
know.
cat.
See, he was just looking at the pussy.
You know, what?
But bump. Hey!
I'm glad you said that, because look, I had another friend tell me some silly shit today. That
That
blew
wasn't some silly shit. That was some real as
my
shit.
fucking mind.
Damn.
Now his daughter just had a baby. Now
Sure.
Dun, dun, dun.
they don't like the baby daddy or whatever, but that ain't nobody's business. Anyway, so
But we just
Why'd
made
you
it
say-
everybody's
I'm
business.
I'm listening. Well, this goes with the story. I'm
Oh,
listening
okay.
to him bitch about her, and the situation, and still, nobody said nothing about the baby's name, and I'm curious about the baby. It felt almost like he was doing, like, specifically a big, like, trying to not tell me the baby's name. So finally, I'm like, well, what'd she name the baby? Annalise, and here's how it came out. He was like, she even gave that asshole his last name, the baby's last name, or the dad's last name. I was like, well, what's the dad's last name? It's Poussey.
Oh, no.
Poussey.
Annalise Poussey.
Anal pussy. When it comes down to it, it's anal pussy.
Annalise pussy. Ooh.
Annalise is an actual fucking lube.
Annalise. Annalise, I know. Anal pussy. That's exactly what that kid's name was. And I'm like, you don't see that?
You have doomed that
And
kid
he
to
thought-
so many mental health disorders.
Yeah. It took him a minute, and then it finally dawned. I was like, you didn't see that. How can you not see? It was a joke on fucking Family Guy. Quagmire named his daughter Annalise. He named, her nickname was Anal.
Mm-hmm.
And not only Annalise, but Poussey.
Yeah.
In French, if you translate it sounds French to me. Anal pussy, or at least anal ease, But I would think if translated, it would take it to the shortest form,
I
so
went
it'd
to
be
school
anal.
with someone whose last name was Vajani.
Oh fuck!
First name was Priya, right?
Yeah. How'd you remember that?
He fucked her.
No, I've never met her.
You probably would have, though.
Boom, boom, cheek.
Because you talked about it.
Yeah.
I've listened.
Analese.
You don't need Vajani.
So yeah, don't name your kids for yourselves, guys. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because a lot of the parents think, oh, this is a cool name. This is cool. Yeah, it's cool for your year. Your maybe that couple of years, or maybe even your generation. But none of them names pass on. Very few names pass on. Your basic ones that were in the Bible, those
I'm
pass
not sure
on.
yet.
Each culture has their ones that kind of pass on. But like all these names that you come up with, like there was somebody else who, one of my kids told me, they took both names and put it together, which
Yeah.
that's a black thing. I have to admit, I have a lot of black folks that I know that have done it, and it don't make no goddamn
I went
sense.
to middle school
But
with
you
a
take
girl
two.
named Shasta Pickens.
Shasta Pickens, or is that one Shasta Pickens?
No, Shasta Pickens.
Yeah, she was named after a pop. Shasta was a pop.
Shasta Cola.
That's, yeah, I don't know. That
We had a Shasta
that
machine
must have
in
been below my...
But like
Pay grade.
here, my dude Tawan, his
Growing
sister
up.
named her first daughter
LaDasha.
Sharjean.
No, dude, about the
And it
LaDasha
was
story.
because her name was Charmaine, and the dad's name was Eugene. Sharjean. That one wasn't so bad. I've heard
I
some
don't know, that's
shit
Dude,
pretty
like
the LaDasha one you told me about was the worst.
I even thought,
LaDash.
okay,
How it was
Nevaeh.
spelled? Her name was L
Oh.
dash
Oh, yeah,
hyphen A.
hey,
LaDasha is how it was spelled.
No.
Yep.
No.
How much?
How creepy is it? Okay, Maria put something up on Facebook. If it was like your middle name and your mom's middle name, what would your kid be named? And it was like Elena Ann or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Mine would be Ellen Ann. How fucking creepy is that? That's weird.
You're
Why?
weird.
Because they're so close.
But Ellen is not Elena in Spanish.
What is it?
Elaine is Elena in Spanish. Ellen is a total different name.
I still think it's just so close. It's weird.
Still close. It's still similar. She didn't say it was an exact
Oh,
translation.
all right. I took it
Yeah,
different, but
I didn't say
I
that.
don't understand how that's creepy.
Okay, well,
It's not creepy.
I do. I don't know what to tell you.
Like if yours was Antonio Molina and or Anthony Molina, that'd be creepy because mine's Antonio Molina Torres.
If mine
So
was
I-
Anthony Molina at all, that would be creepy because I'm a female.
Middle names.
Right.
You've never heard of an Antonia? I knew a Greek girl named Antonia.
No. Actually, I have not.
Really?
Yeah, correct.
Oh, well. Yeah, there's Antonias out there.
Shit. My kid would be fucked. This is the kid's name, right? My middle name and my mom's middle name?
It would be Bixler.
No, well, she changed it.
Oh, middle name. Yeah.
She changed that after the divorce. So that,
Yeah.
anyways, it'd be Bixler Ray.
That's not that bad.
Ray Bixler.
Not that bad.
Well, I guess, yeah, I didn't think about changing it around. I went in the order of the instructions.
Well, that's another weird thing I found. It's like a
Instructions?
Puerto Rican thing.
Oh, God. Yeah, no, instructions and Puerto Ricans don't go together. Have you ever seen them fuckers read blueprints?
Yeah, I do it quite well.
You're
Hit
Cuban.
him!
The thing that's weird and I never understood because I haven't seen it in any other culture, not even in any other Hispanic cultures. Like they switch up names. Like here, like what's your maiden name?
Gross.
Gross. All right, so
That was fun growing
you
up.
would be Joyce, Ellen,
Gross.
Rogers.
Right.
Now in Puerto Rico, you would be Joyce, Ellen, Rogers, Gross.
Okay.
And the only reason why I even know that is because one of the biggest arguments that I see my dad and my mom get into was when my mom had my graduation party. She was planning it, and on the little things that you send to people, it said Marco Antonio Molina Torres, because my mom's maiden name is Molina, and that's predominantly the family that I'm with.
Yeah.
But my last name is Torres. She
Yeah.
gave respect to my dad, even though he didn't. Whatever. But anyways, he fucking had a fit. Now, mind you, didn't have
Because it
one
didn't
thing to
say
do
the
to
other
help
way?
or whatever.
Yeah.
But he had a fit that the names were backwards.
That it didn't
And
say
he's
Torres
like,
Molina.
this isn't my son on here. This is a fucking Molina.
I mean, I can understand if that's the culture, why you would feel that way.
I
But if you really, I mean,
But all
I
this
just
was
don't
taking
get
place
if
here.
yeah.
yeah, but it's still a cultural thing.
Well, exactly, but it's a one specific cultural. Like mostly like Hispanics have they're varied, but Hispanics are Hispanics when it comes down to it for the broad cultural type shit. Then when you break it down into the little individual shit, then there's that's separate. But what I'm saying is, this is not in any kind of like any Dominican, any Mexican, any other shit like that, Cuban, whatever. I've never seen
So
any
it's
white folks do that.
Puerto Rican.
Yeah, yeah, and I don't know why or
Babysit
where that even comes from. It actually went out. Why or where it even comes from?
Maybe it's individualism.
It could be tribalism, because it's
Puerto
one
Ricans.
island. They try
Yeah.
to.
See how I brought it all back together. Hey.
Hey.
I don't get it. I don't understand
Well,
it.
I mean, I don't get it, but I'm not Puerto Rican.
I mean,
so.
I would think that your last name is the last name you took. So
But
the last
I had
name
people-
you took was Rogers.
Right. And that's why I had people ask me, are you going to hyphenate your name? Motherfucker, I grew up with the last name Gross my entire fucking life and was crucified for it my entire fucking life. Do you think I'm hyphenated? No, that bitch is gone. Gone. I married the first man that had a regular last name.
I never understood that hyphen either. Like I
Rogers.
dated.
Perfect.
Can't get any more regular than that.
Regular. Rogers.
I
Regular.
dated a girl one time. Her name was Dana Ann, but
You had that going for you.
that was her first name, and it wasn't Dana Ann.
Don't
like
care how I
spelled
got
like
it.
It was Dana hyphen Ann, and then like she had a middle name. Bitch, why you make it? Why'd your parents? Who the fuck? You know, I can't even say it to her because she didn't do it. I'd love to just talk to her mom and be like, who the fuck do you think you are? Like you're adding dashes and extra names and all that shit. You're a broke bitch who lives in Austin Town. You know that was white folks back in the fucking 70s. You know, this wasn't like, you know, now people are bitching the black folks put, you know, dollar signs in there and add, you know, spelling shit with silent Q's and
My
all
question
that.
is,
Greg.
has any of those parents...
Do you want that? Or do you want me to stub it out for a minute while you eat?
my question is, parents, have you ever considered when you name your kid superfragicalistic, what the
Some odd
fucking
shit.
docious, how they gonna spell that shit in kindergarten?
Yeah, that too.
Have you ever considered your kid trying to figure the shit out? Like, what the hell is wrong with you people?
See, I was bullied when I was younger, so in my eyes,
My last name was Gross.
Well, I
Joyce
know, but
E.
this
Gross.
this is what took a lot of how I named my kids and my thought processes on, you know, where my kids' name came from. I found, like, every time I thought of a name that would be cool or different, I thought of every fucking name I could think of to talk shit about it.
Yeah.
And if the ones with the minimal amount to be talked shit about, those were the names that we went with.
We went with really pretty good, conventional, non-making fun of
Like
names.
with Thorn, Thorn was
We
supposed
did.
to be Zorn. And that was only because I was pissed off because I couldn't name him Nathaniel that I wanted to.
Oh,
But
Natalie
I'm
was
ki-
supposed to be a Nathaniel.
I'm kind of glad that it didn't go that route. But again, Zorn, he'd have got made fun of. Thorn, every Thorn, if you hear that name, is some fucking bougie rich motherfucker on a goddamn soap opera.
I've never heard the name Thorn, but I think it's pretty cool. I mean, like, there's no fucking with that. That's a cool fucking name.
And Maria, you know, Maria's a nice, easy name.
Yep.
There's nothing to fuck with there. Samara is, even though it's a little bit different. You know,
Nope,
what are you
Samara's cool.
You know,
Yep.
You're gonna call her Summer, or Mara, you know, and to top it off, she had a kind of a good following because I got that name from the girl in the ring.
Yeah.
You know, and then Marco, that's, you know, he Polo, but you know, you know, I dealt with it. He could deal with the Polo thing. And nobody really fucks with
And
Mark
really,
anyway.
in this day and age,
Right.
that's not a crack anybody's really
Yeah.
going to come
Most
up with.
kids don't even
the
know
only
that
people
game.
that are going to do that now are people that are,
Older folks.
or your friends that are
Yeah.
fucking with you.
Yeah.
You got to be at least 35 and up
Yeah.
to get that.
No, I did see some kids playing it in the pool the
It
other
is
day,
rare,
but like,
though.
but not. Yeah, no,
It
it's
is
not
rare.
a thing that.
Yeah,
that
I
most
bet you
people
them
do.
kids had both parents too.
Probably. I don't
Yeah,
know. I
that's the
didn't
only
really
way they know
interview the
about
kids
them
at the
kind of
pool.
games.
You're right.
Or even had their own pool.
Here's your package. Please.
Please fill out the
please
this
fill out
survey.
this.
How many people
However-
are in your household?
Are both of your parents together?
Are they married?
It's like that fucking commercial.
Do they like each other?
Where the little girl wants the balloon
Do
for the
they
Liberty
ever
Merchant.
talk loudly?
The Liberty Mutual commercial.
at
I'm sorry.
each other?
Liberty Mutual commercial where he's giving out balloons. And he's like, have your parents been consecutive members of our homeowners policy for 12 consecutive months? And she's looking at him like, what the fuck?
Let's give me my balloon.
Yeah, anyway, whatever. Moving on.
Well, yeah, I guess the whole point of
I
this
remember
part-
it
Whatever,
was just
moving on.
long-winded.
Yeah, I didn't explain it well. It's okay. It'll be better next time.
It's okay. I think you know, the whole point of this segment of the show was don't fucking name your kids no stupid shit.
Right.
You know, you may think it's cool right now, but you know, look at long term.
Yeah.
Look at how your name evolved. Look at how some of the people you picked on or who picked on you's names evolved, and take that into precedence. Because even biblical names, you know, if you name your kid, say, Ezekiel, and he ends up like a Muslim or he ends up something else. then how
Ezekiel's not bad, though. You go by Zeke. Jedediah. Jedediah is not a good one.
Jedediah is very not a good one.
Right? That's what I'm saying. There's
But,
some good biblical names, and then there's Jedediah.
Yeah, but even if you don't really want to get an off the wall biblical name.
Jehoshaphat.
Yeah, you don't want to do that shit, especially
Methuselah.
you're just asking for the universe to make your kid
I
against
got this all day
everything
long.
that them names came from. You don't. There's a reason why you don't see any Methuselahs right now.
Right.
There's a reason why you don't.
I'm bringing it back.
You'll see a Jedediah because it can be shortened to Jed.
Right.
They'll be like, no, my name is Jed.
A.A. Ron.
A.A. Ron. You done
Jesus
messed up,
Christ.
A.A. Ron.
But I mean, if you like the Jehoshaphat or
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
We got a visitor coming down. Uh-oh.
Hi, baby.
yeah. So I mean, just pay attention. Your like music heroes and shit. Like I know people who named their kids Manson or Marilyn just because of Marilyn Manson, but nobody really knows about Marilyn Manson anymore if they're the
How about
youngins.
that chick that
So-
named her kids,
Apple?
no, was
They
it
did.
Slayer, Pantera, and,
Oh, stop. No.
yeah, no
Oh,
bullshit.
damn.
Megadeth. Like, named their kids the band's names.
Damn.
I get it, it's dedication. It made all the rock,
Fun
like
fact.
the metal magazines and stuff, but to me, that's just, I mean, to each their own, but damn.
Fun
what?
fact, Charles Manson,
It's like
when he was born, was actually no name Manson for, I want to say, at least a year. He did not have a name. He left the hospital with no name and was not named Charles until later, like at least a year later after he was born.
Yeah, but that could do a parallel with the
Another
shit that's
fun
going
fact
on
about
now.
Charles Manson.
Because how do we? Especially he was in the hippie era.
Wait
like
a
the
second.
break.
Even his upbringing, though, fun fact, his mother once traded him for a pitcher of beer.
Yes, his
Yeah.
mother actually sold him several times and he kept coming back.
That kind of goes to what I'm saying. They were in the hippie era where
This
it
was
was
way
kind
before
of
the
like
hippie era. This is when he was a kid.
This was like the beginning of the hippie era. So
He was an adult by that time.
Here's another fun
Right,
fact.
right. But just
not
listen
even-
to what the fuck I'm saying.
Why?
The whole
You act
point
like
of
it's your
it
show.
was,
It's not your
we're
show.
going into the same shit now with all these liberal snowflakes and progressives where you can't name a kid this or that, or how are you going to choose the name of this kid before it comes out or all that horse
That's
shit.
just talk, bro. There's no law about it. There's no
Right.
push for
Well,
a
I mean,
law
but
about it.
people-
That's just people talking shit.
I'm just
and
saying-
they have a platform to publicly talk shit.
Right, but
Like,
the point of it
I choose
is
just to not give a
I'm
fuck about
comparing
it.
those type of people to maybe Manson's fucking family was the same way.
Manson's family was just fucking
Yeah,
fucked up.
totally different.
But
I just choose not to
fuck.
participate in
It
the
was
bullshit.
Yeah,
If you don't sign the registration, you don't get in the game. You know what I'm saying? I don't sign up for the league, so I don't have to play their game.
See, in my eyes
I just
is
do my thing.
if I have to be a part of a group or a collective, then I have to run it. And I don't want to run it.
See, I don't have to. Like, I gotta.
Because then I
have
feel
to-
like I'm being
I have
ruled.
to. I have to abide by the boundaries. I have to abide by certain boundaries by choice because I don't feel they're too restrictive and of how I want to live right now. If all that shit changed and by their design the boundaries became too constrictive, man, dude, like the woods are calling my name. I'll disappear somewhere. There's mountains everywhere that they'll never fucking find you.
Well,
Like you can just live.
I
You
kinda
can
get
just
what
live.
you're saying,
and
but
I don't
like,
have to play. I don't have to play by their rules, and I don't have to be a part of it. Like if it ever gets that bad, I don't like. I'm not like.
see, I'm usually stuck at this.
I'm not
this
fighting
point.
in a, like. I'm sorry. I'm not fighting in a civil war, bro. I'm like
Be-
taking. I'm gone.
Because I have to be like at that point where I don't feel like I should be ruled. I have to be.
I don't feel we should be
the
ruled,
one,
but I don't feel that.
I'm not just saying as far as like a government or
Do
just
you
anything.
realize if they actually turned the military upon us, we wouldn't stand a motherfucking chance if we decided to stand and fight.
I
Do you
don't know
really
about
realize
that.
that?
I don't
I've
think
seen the new making
I'd
of
win
Red
battles. I
Dawn.
don't think I'd win the war, but I'd win battles.
Brother?
I believe I got enough people and know
Man.
enough things. We have a
Alaska.
small army.
There's somewhere in Alaska where I can just boop.
oh my god.
But here, I'll
Even
use
the
this as an
Canadian
example.
wilderness. Boop.
I'll use this as an example.
Fuck, there's got to be places in the Colorado Rockies. You
When we started the Infected,
Smoky Mountains.
it was me and Greg who did it. And I didn't even really want to be the head one of the whole situation.
Bullshit,
But
you
it
just
needed
said-
somebody.
That's a lie.
Greg, did I want to be
Listen,
like the head of
you
this
just
shit?
said if there is a group or movement, you are going to be the leader.
I have to be the leader because I don't like being ruled, but I don't
Then
want to be the
therefore-
leader.
Then therefore you're self-appointing yourself as leader.
No,
No, you're contradicting yourself.
Most of the time, I'm appointed, even if I don't want to be. That is my whole point. And the thing is every time I am appointed in that leading position, especially nowadays where, we're all together with most of this, I usually have Greg as my second or my equal in it. Because Greg will balance me out. Greg will let me know that even if I'm running this shit, hey, you're fucking up right here. Hey, you look, I got your back, but we need to fix this because this ain't gonna be right, And it was just like with the Infected. Greg was my second there. When if I felt one way or whatever, and Greg was like, nah, I don't know. I didn't just say fuck you. It was fuck everybody else. It was no. Greg's point is valid. It was Greg and Jack. And that was it. I didn't want to be that up there, but if somebody didn't do it and do it right, then we'd all be fucked. I ain't gonna be following a dimwit. If I'm gonna be following a dimwit, it's gonna be myself.
Con.
So I mean that's
Sorry,
what I
brought
mean
it
about
back.
that whole situation.
I don't know why.
I mean it's just like with the whole eargasm
he's
thing.
definitely a Kirk.
Slowly but surely, there was
Really?
people
I was
in that
thinking
whole
of Con.
organization there for years and years and years. I just come up over the last couple of years, and now I'm like pretty
Is
much
Marco a
second in
Kirk
command.
or a Con? Come on, Trekkies, tell me.
Is Mark a
Kirk
Kirk
or Con?
He's nowhere near Con.
You don't think he's Con?
No, he's Kirk.
You
Glory,
think he's
glory,
Kirk?
Glory, glory.
Glory, glory, pussy,
Fuck
glory,
the rules.
pussy, glory, pussy,
Pussy,
glory,
glory, fuck
pussy,
the
glory.
rules.
Fuck the rules, pussy,
Glory.
glory. I don't know, but Con was more
Kirk-
like,
Kirk
I
was-
could do it, and I am better and far
No, but
superior,
Kirk
and I'm gonna
always knew
take it.
Kirk always knew he could do it
And I
too, but
guarantee you he
Kirk
had
was always-
pussy glory in there with it.
No. Con did not. Con was one-dimensional when it came to that. It was absolutely Kirk.
You
and
don't
Kirk
know
absolutely,
that
Listen,
at
and Kirk
all.
I was
absolutely.
neither one of them, 'cause
Listen,
fuck Star
Kirk
Trek.
absolutely lived by Marco's rules. Pussy, dope, and money.
Pussy, dope, and money.
No.
Pussy, dope, money, honor,
No.
dope, pussy, money.
See, I see myself more
something.
as a Anakin before he turned into Vader.
Oh God, why do we gotta always do the Star Trek, Star Wars thing? They're two different
Because
things.
I don't watch Trek.
You should.
No, it's no. I never liked it
It was
at
really
all.
good. The new ones are good.
No, they're not. I watched one of the new
They are
movies,
too. They're good.
and then I watched a couple of the side ones. It's, because I can't knock it unless I watch it, and I watched one of each one of the shits, and I didn't like any of them. The closest one I
just
used to
watched
watch,
one. It was fucking
my mom
fantastic.
used to like watching the one that had Whoopi Goldberg on it,
Next generation.
and the dude who used to read the books with the thing.
Data.
Jordy.
Yeah, Jordy used to have a
Shit,
show
Data was the other guy.
He's Android.
on PBS. He had his own show.
Yeah, he
Reading
did.
Rainbow.
Reading
Yeah.
Rainbow.
Bro,
I
it's the heyday of the 90s here for me.
be
It's the late 80s, early
anything.
90s. Because
Just take a look.
Yes.
It's in
Next
a book.
Generation came out in like
Reading
88.
Rainbow.
That's good shit.
Yeah.
It'd have been cooler if he had his
Ran
little.
7 years.
And
Yeah, clip
and
on
you
his
notice,
face.
I know that more than I know anything about him in Star Trek. I just know he had the visor.
Banana clip.
Actually, that's what it was. That's what they made it out of.
They
spray painted a banana clip.
You ever see
Good
the
shit.
Family Guy parody of him?
Absolutely not.
When Peter put the visor on, and it showed like all kind of like KKK and racist people coming at him, and he took it off. He was like, "Why would you want to see this?"
I watched more Family Guy vacuuming your living room floor than I've ever seen in my entire life. Ever.
Like I stopped. Like I even noticed. Like once I get so many seasons in of anything, I'll just get bored with it.
That's how
There's,
it was
like,
about Futurama.
I'm behind. Nah, Futurama I could just watch constantly. There was only 8
no.
seasons.
I was
of
all
that.
excited. I'm like, delivery guy, yeah!
I could
No.
see you as a female Fry.
Fuck yeah. I could see me as a female Fry. Because I'm a dork.
Why are you talking to my penis? Oh.
Whatever.
Or why is the key to the universe tattooed on Fry's ass? Well, it had to be somewhere.
Had to be a bet when they were drunk.
Bender did
I'm
it.
pretty sure Jack was involved.
Sean said something over there. No, they
Sean
suck.
said no, they suck. But what are you talking about, Sean? Who sucks?
Yeah, we covered a lot of shit in a short amount of time.
You suck.
You suck. No, they suck. That's what he said.
Jared
Who
has
sucks?
been stuck on this Pee Wee Herman. I know you are, but what am I? For like
Pee
the
Wee
last
Herman
It's
fucking...
not the
Yes.
same. It's not the same thing.
Motherfucker, it's the same thing.
Same thing? Oh my God, it is
You're
the same thing. You
Thank
are
you.
so right. It is exactly the same thing.
It is not.
It
Two different
is.
games.
They're not two different games.
What
Yeah.
the fuck are you guys talking about?
How he goes, you're
Whatever you just said.
no, you're they suck. No,
Right.
you're
You're not even doing it
you're
right.
the watermelon. Like how he does that shit.
Yeah.
You'd be like,
For like the last 2
God,
months.
they're such a loser. You're the loser. You know how he does that?
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
That is the
it's
Pee Wee
same
Herman.
thing.
Yeah, that is the same thing.
Right.
It's
It's at least the same amount of annoying.
All right,
that I
listen.
agree with.
The
All
only
right.
difference is that you go from the
It's
you want to do what you said, but
He does
you
5
don't want
words
to
or
admit
less.
that it's
It's
Pee
the
Wee
grandma's
Herman.
boy. You're a hooker.
You're a hooker. Now my
Whatever.
doll has herpes. God. Which isn't curable because it's a virus. Bringing it back.
Make sure all the other adults wear a mask.
Dude, that's the one that actually bothers me the most because we always hear. I mean, what's the one statistic that you hear all the
Can't
time
believe you
about
jizzed on
food?
my mom.
Like,
Coli.
Wow.
No, there's like-
Salmonella.
That come
Grandma's
from-
boy.
like they
I
they
know,
always
but it
say
came
like
from
1 out
nowhere.
of
Star
7.
Trek does not suck.
Yes, it does.
No, it does not.
And it's Trek, not track.
They always say like 2 out of every 10 people in food service has herpes. Now, what that has to do with your food, I have no
I'm
clue.
pretty sure that's 2 out of 3 people in the world have herpes.
No. It's a fucked up statistic that they always put on TV. It's real low. It's like a real like 10 to like 2 to 10 or
Okay.
something like that. But anyways, the whole point of it is okay, if you got fucking shows telling us that people who, unless they're actually literally putting that shit, like squeezing whatever the fuck on your food,
Well,
so fucking what?
No,
that's on
that's
them.
not true either. If they're touching their face, wherever it's broken out at,
Right. Well, if they're
regardless, if they're
same
touching
thing, if they're
where the
popping it and
breakout
putting it
is,
on your food, then that's
and
one
then
thing.
touching your food, then yeah, you can get that. But that's the same with anything. If they have a fucking cold,
Right,
if they have
right.
fucking whatever,
But I've been hearing that since I was a kid, since I was little.
right? That's like Jesus is coming back.
Why is that not fixed yet?
I'm just saying.
Why is that? I mean, we killed a whole platoon of black dudes just to fucking get rid of gonorrhea. Why can't? Yeah, the Tuskegee experiments.
Yep.
I have to read about that.
Was it syphilis or gonorrhea? It was one of them two.
Why
Syphilis.
were they black dudes? Or
Because
that's what they used.
They pick.
they used black dudes for gonorrhea?
The Tuskegee Airmen.
Syphilis.
Watch the movie The Tuskegee Airmen. It'll make you cry.
No,
It made-
listen. Okay, first
it
of
made
all,
me
Absolutely.
cry.
as soon as
That's
you
why,
say
look,
something,
there's a lot of legitimacy to
Listen.
the prominent, black
I
doctors
don't understand.
and leaders in the black community saying, "Why the hell are you lining up to take this vaccine?
Yeah.
Don't you remember what happened before?"
Yeah, look at everybody wants
I
to
will
talk about
absolutely
slavery.
look into
Look
that because
about
that's
when
very
slavery
interesting
was
to me.
done and this shit happened.
however, first of all, I won't even watch a Denzel Washington movie, even though I know not all of his movies are similar, but they're similar enough to me.
He got a few real good ones.
Similar enough to me to know that they are going to make me cry, and I'm not going to watch them. So why do you
Look at
think?
his earlier ones. His earlier
Why
ones
do you
aren't sappy.
think, by saying they made me cry, you should watch this movie because it made me cry, that it is ever going to like propel me to watch that movie? Ever. Not gonna. No crying. Once the dam opens, it can't be shut.
Google it and read about it.
Yeah,
That
read
I will
about it.
do.
'Cause
That I will 100% do. The whole watching and the crying thing, I'm
my whole
fucking out.
point, you know me, I don't cry very often, and I'm not a very emotional or that type of person. But watching this and watching like I'm taking their color out of it. They were soldiers. They were the Tuskegee Airmen were one of the first bombers who went in a
Yes,
World,
I know
was it
that.
World
I know.
War II? Or,
Yeah, World War II.
Yeah. They took those same heroes and did this foul shit to them.
They were supposedly, giving them like vaccines and
What was the other movie?
normal type shot? Like they were
Something
and
boys.
They were purposely
Miss Evers boys.
giving them syphilis and to figure out.
See, I thought it was maybe
Wow.
gonorrhea.
That's some bullshit.
But either way, it was an STD
That's
that they
horrendous.
gave these guys.
I can't imagine. That's
purposely.
horrendous.
And like the
These heroes
effects
of our country,
them,
there's like a
yeah.
whole broad bill for that. Hey,
Concert.
listen,
Because it would go back into the tribalism.
I'm not saying it.
Traction. You're good. Just leave it alone.